pure gaping.
Told me there's nothing wrong with temptation. It's only when you give into it that it becomes a problem. Same man went on to have an affair with another woman. So, like he kind of, to be honest, years later I was like, he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Depends what the temptation is. Like,
It sounds like he listened to his own advice.
yeah, for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
He gave the advice, but then he also he showed where the advice would lead.
Do you know what? Maybe
You know what I
maybe that's all he was doing was
He's
just.
literally warning you.
Letting you know what was going on. Or making it okay for him to do his deed.
Yeah.
You know, it's alright, you just give into it.
Just give into it, and here's the consequences: divorce. The kids don't like you anymore.
Oh,
It's
God.
fine. Yeah.
Because I told Neil that time about
It's okay now.
that's okay now.
The absolute weird part of that, he was a minister.
Who was the minister?
The guy who gave me that advice and subsequently went on to
Jesus.
There you are.
give into
Jesus is right. Yeah.
If
I don't think he was involved.
If we got all about Jesus.
Jesus wasn't there for that.
No, he
decision.
wasn't. He was
Jude,
more
we're
clearly
recording
He was
not.
now.
more observing. He was more observing.
Yeah.
As a different kind of podcast.
Yeah. And action.
And action.
So before we start, is there any no-nos? Just
Whatever you want.
Nothing. Say what you want. You're actually allowed to leave and go to the toilet and come back if you want to. So,
even better.
because that happens to me quite a bit.
I have a lot of water.
If you're in the middle of something and you see me walk out, it's just because I'm going to the toilet and come
Ignorant
back.
bastard, I would be saying.
Yes, very rude.
Basically. No,
Funny,
do you know, actually, I'm less rude. I'm less rude for doing it because I want to come in and enjoy it rather than worry about having to go to the toilet. You know what I mean? So,
Oh no, I get you. It's nothing worse than you busting the piss and somebody keeps talking to you.
and I'm sitting just Irish dancing in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, I went to the cinema a couple of weeks ago. Abby and I had like a date, so we're trying to do like this date night once a month.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything big, but just you can get caught up with life, can't you? And work and kids and everything else, and then sort of neglect other aspects of your life. So we went to cinema, but I was sitting there going, I really need to try it. And I leaned into Abby and I was like, so it was a musical, right? And she knows I don't really like
fuck
musicals. But actually, I was really enjoying it. Wicked or whatever it's called.
Oh,
I leaned
yes.
in and I'm like, don't say it because she's going to take this the wrong way, And I said, how long's left of this? This is about half an hour into it. And she gave me the look, the look you get of like, you shouldn't be asking this question.
You sitting with like the extra large Fanta in front of you.
And I'm sitting with the extra large Fanta thinking if only this was empty I could, well anyway, but there was two girls at the end of the row and I thought I have to go out past it, so that was the whole thing.
That's where you messed up.
And for about 20 minutes I sat there, I couldn't even ask the question because I knew I was going to get into potentially trouble.
Yeah.
Aisle seat. I am a constant aisle seat guy. Like that's
He knows.
Your aisle seat. You have control of the room. You have control of you. You control the room. There's the fire exit. There's the toilet. You can get up. You're not disturbing anybody. Aisle seat every time. Planes, theaters, cinemas.
Planes, trains, automobiles, and cinemas.
There's nothing worse when you announce the first dance and you realise you're busting. There's no way out.
You have to play it, yeah. You have to go.
You're there for an hour and a half.
You sitting doing Johnny Be Good, just fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right enough. Yeah, you just take no breaks.
Johnny P. Good.
Johnny.
It depends on the night. If you have a really lively crowd, we don't even fucking stop between songs. That's part of what we do. We decide the songs every song. And if you stop, to stop dancing. So
a lot of wedding singers and all would be drinking. Would some of them be drinking like during that?
Yeah,
I don't know. How the hell do you hold that in then?
don't know. But
as soon as I have my second beer, the scene's broke.
the tap's open. But no, we don't drink because you get paid to do a job, and
That's it.
his jokes are bad enough when he's sober.
Well,
you don't
a few pints in him.
slurring away. Here, Jude, what are we like? We started now. Fantastic. Welcome, lads.
Hello.
Well, thank you for having us.
How are you? Hey, can I just ask, are you the juice or is it juice or juice?
Just juice.
Just drop.
I like the juice.
The juice.
The juice. No, juice is nice too.
Yeah.
It's like that Facebook movie. Just Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Dropped it the.
Drop the.
Yeah.
I like the juice.
Although there's certain words that they put the into, isn't it? Like, where's that place up by Dungannon? Moy.
The Moy.
The Moy, yeah.
Nobody calls it Moy.
I think because the Moy is known as a strange place, and they're like the Moy. You know.
Well, possibly. Yeah.
Oh, really?
You're not from the Moy, are you, Rod? No.
No.
And it's like,
Kildress.
Kildress.
Not from Kildress, but that's right.
Not the Kildress.
Lived in the Kildress for quite a while. Yeah.
The Mid-Ulster area.
Yeah.
Welcome, Neil and Rod, to the podcast. Have you ever listened to the podcast before?
Yeah.
Do you want the honest answer?
Yes.
No.
You're in for a treat.
You're in for a treat tonight.
Did he warn you?
To be extra honest,
No, he definitely didn't.
I intended to listen to a couple of episodes prior to arriving, but
You really better not.
But I only told him half an hour before arriving that we were doing it, so I did
well,
that.
he told me last week. Like,
That's
but that's my seems to be my life story, full of good intentions.
Aye. I'm same.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Neil, have you listened to an episode or two or one?
Yeah, I was listening to James Bradley and you guys last night. Well, you weren't doing it, I was listening last night, and Joe's one all about the food and stuff. That was good.
Joe's was good.
And I caught a little bit of Kira's as well.
Oh, yes,
C-Mac
Kira's.
and all that. Yeah, so big up to.
You mentioned about the food guy. The other
That
day.
was unreal.
Aye,
yeah.
Joe's was
Kane's
good.
brilliant.
That was a long time ago, though. That I feel like that's like almost 2 years ago.
Nearly. He was one of our first guests back in your old flat. So it was his wee flat. We were just doing audio at the time. And we've had 3 episodes with him since that.
That's
and then
right,
it's kind of built up till audio into video. And then we were at his restaurant. And then we were at different things. It was
Is that the one
class.
where he made the sticky toffee?
He might have made. There's one time he
Well,
came.
he actually cooks what he's.
No, just this. I don't even know if it was on the podcast.
We did go up with the time.
Aye, that's true. We did.
Aye,
that
but
too.
we had a podcast with him at the very start. It was really strange how we even how we pick our guests. Like we were meeting them like out and about whenever we had Shady Dolphin.
That's right.
For them 7 years, me and Fergal were going around all these businesses and talking to them and literally going inside their businesses and learning about their business, but chatting to the person. And we just seen Joe randomly one day in the middle of this big developmental kitchen in the middle of, Kelly's. They own all the different spars, they own about 30 spars.
Yes.
He was like their chef that managed all the big kitchens.
That's right.
That prepared all the meals. I met him for maybe 2 minutes one time on like a walk around their factory, and I was like, "Fuck, he's some character." He was some
He is a
character.
character, isn't he?
And I only talked to him for 2 minutes, like, and then whenever we were doing this podcast, me and Fergal just had this absolute group of randomers from over the years that we met, and they were weird and wonderful and good crack, and there's Neil and all these different people that we met, and people are like, where are you getting your guests from? We just kind of knew them, and like I get messages like, how'd you know that person, or how'd you know that? And we just randomly just met them.
So
We used his cafe as our first office.
Are you saying we should be insulted?
No. Well, here, take out whatever you want.
Exactly.
Rod, don't even care.
Yeah.
You haven't even listened to the podcast.
This
You're
slide
Yeah,
is-
well, that's true.
you're
Yeah.
in for a treat. You are in for a treat.
Yeah, you were doing okay until you said that. By the
You
way.
are
It's
for
been
a
a
I have
treat.
to be honest.
Yeah, at least I looked at the track listing. So who did they have on? Right, remember this name and this name. This I'm not going to be quizzed. It's not an
Here.
exam.
It honestly doesn't
Oh, you
matter.
are
No,
gonna be
Kira and James and Joe, I have listened.
Honestly, it
to.
doesn't even matter who you listen to.
And
to be
Shay,
honest.
of course, the shoe doctor.
Yeah, he's very
Yeah,
good
brilliant,
too. He's been on
awesome.
a couple of times.
Yeah.
So we begin with the quickfire on this podcast, which is basically we give you a choice and you have to pick one of them, and just you give an answer straight after each other, sort of thing.
Cool.
We're doing a quickfire, and then there's a wee quiz in the middle of it. There's wee bits and pieces. Then we're going to break for a wee tune from yourselves, and then we're going to go into an origin story. And that'll be a wee bit about yourselves, first memories, where you grew up, how, and then basically up until now, in a sense. And in between that, we'll do a wee bit of music and eat a pile of buns and tea and have a bit of crack at the same time.
Sounds brilliant. Yeah.
That's what's ahead of us. That's the menu for the night.
Well, there you
And a mix of everything, really. So, quick fire, lads. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Coffee.
Coffee all day?
Just one, but just one a day.
One a day?
Tea.
Tea all day?
Tea all day.
You'd be a bit of a coffee snob, Neil?
Not a snob.
Would you
no,
not be?
I just like it.
No.
You kind of have to.
Nah, does that make me a
Hang on,
snob?
now, hang on. Well, I'm not buying this shit.
You have to be a
I
snob.
think you're a
Like,
coffee snob now.
you would have to be like.
I think you are.
See if somebody else is making you a cup of coffee. I was always brought up saying, if somebody else makes you something, always appreciate it.
Aye, that's true.
You're
Yeah,
polite,
you're a
right?
polite
That's true.
coffee snob, but
Oh, I'm
polite coffee stuff. What? Who's the best coffee in Magherafelt?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Best coffee in Magherafelt.
There's a few new places.
Don't care. Don't care how new they are. Well,
I
who's
gotta
the best
say,
coffee?
Pub and Beatty's kitchen. Yeah, I have to
Pub
say
and
that.
Beatty's,
He's got this awesome new coffee machine, and
In his home house.
in his house.
You
I
can't.
will.
You can't pick his. Nobody.
Yeah, you can, no. I think that's good.
I think the criteria is commercial premises here.
Commercial.
Commercial.
See, I like to do the rounds. You know,
Yeah.
don't tell my wife that, but I'm like, you have to go and support all the other different.
100%.
Like,
I
so
couldn't agree
I'll
more.
happily go to Ground and enjoy their coffee.
Last
I'll go to
coffee in the
Slim's.
world. Where are you drinking in
Last
Magherafelt?
coffee in the world. Oh,
You have to pick
Jeff.
one in Magherafelt.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with the olive tree flat white.
Very good.
Are you flat white? Is that
Flat
what you're
white,
normal?
yeah.
go, we got
From
an answer.
Maghera.
We
From
got an
Maghera.
answer.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I always get the answer. Don't use worry. But personally, we've talked about this before. I personally think the best coffee is ground, but my favourite place to have a coffee is Slim's.
You were in there tonight. I think I walked
was
past
there
you.
tonight, actually,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
stalking you. I know I was going to get a haircut.
But comfort, I think Slim's is so comfortable. I just think it's chilled, it's relaxing.
Nice protein,
Yeah.
little
Wee
things.
protein
They're
balls.
unreal, yeah.
But I think grounds coffees.
As somebody that, well, I drink an espresso here and there. Just,
Yes.
but
Wee
I
pick me
don't
up.
drink it for the joy of drinking. I just drink
Yeah.
it for a pick me up. So for somebody like me who's not really into coffee, what makes the ground coffee so good?
I don't know. I think it's the taste. I think there's a.
Well, fuck no shit.
Do you know what? It tastes better than the other coffee places.
Well, there we go. That's
So
it.
there we
Fuck,
go.
That's it settled.
But I think it's
John
just,
writes reviews, so he does for the paper.
Here, the thing is, I'm not a big coffee drinker either. I like the coffee for a buzz, like I do. But there's just something about the ground one that I personally like more.
And
than
what do
the
you
other
go for?
places.
Americano?
Latte usually.
Oh, latte, yes.
Aye.
Good choice. What about you, Fergal?
I'm on
Did
the-
you say tea or coffee?
Coffee, I'd be a dirty chai latte at
Oh,
the minute.
dirty
That's what I love
chai.
at the minute.
Dirty chai latte.
From anywhere in particular?
I think that's a bit hipster. Like
It is a wee bit, I am
Go to
okay
this.
with that.
Go to this new moustache.
Exactly.
Well, I've decided it's new. It may not
no,
be new,
well,
but
that's not.
I just decided it was because of his new diet.
Exactly.
it's new to this area. Like,
I was in
trendsetter.
I was in Banbridge today and I got one, and there's a place blending.
Mustache or a coffee?
It was a place called Blend and Batch,
That's
and they
right.
do unbelievable coffee, and their food's class too. Like it's
Very good.
every time I drive past the place, there's a queue. I've never seen a cafe.
That's because you
do
never
so
open
well.
the door, you know. It's like, you can't get in.
Everybody's queued out.
I've done that. I've
It's
been there.
crazy.
Look at that auction room. It's amazing. Everybody's queued out.
They're just creating
Well,
demand.
that Neil boy hasn't opened the door.
I know, but their coffee is very very good. Like
That's excellent.
and chai, I think sometimes people just get like the
What is chai?
fake chai. It's like a cinnamony sort of spice.
Spices.
Aye.
Jude, would you put it in your coffee and I'll chai? Dirty chai.
No,
It's mainly
you
with
put it
tea.
in your coffee. Put your coffee in it.
Aye.
I'm a fucking coffee snob.
Nice. Same.
Oh, I drink chai all day.
I'm sorry.
Chai's unbelievable.
I would take chai when I'm hungover because it's sweet as fuck.
It's
Lifts you.
Would you order something like that?
Oh fuck, aye.
Really?
Oh, aye.
I'm not.
Do you know the
I'm
first
not-
thing-
I'm good at it. Getting something. I wouldn't order a coffee in Magherafelt.
Oh!
Shots fired.
That's how.
Here, get
That's
you
how
that-
to answer.
Get you that mic on there. Get you a mic on there.
Sorry.
Very good.
I'm joking. We've had to.
You go to Povan's house as well. Like,
Aye, exactly.
That's my next stop.
Honestly, yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
joking?
oh, here, look. As long as my
He's
latte,
loving his coffee.
my latte is a wee traybake beside. I don't give a fuck what it tastes like. To be
Well,
honest.
Your favourite one's up in Korean, isn't there?
Aye, Fiddle is my favourite.
But
Fiddle.
Fiddle is where some of the places in Magherafelt use for their coffee, Jude.
Re?
Used to. That's right. Yeah. Punjana or Tetley for your
Punjana.
teas. No,
I'm
it's
not really
not
a
a
tea
hard.
drinker. Punjana?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Buns or traybakes.
Oh, buns.
Oh, tray bakes.
Traybakes, yeah. I don't know.
Like
it's a
traybakes
tough
are-
one.
I'm outnumbered
No,
here.
tray bakes to me generally are
It's
whatever
traybake.
shit's left over, squash them all together, put a wee topping on, and
that's a
that's
good
what you've
point,
left.
actually.
I
I,
like
never
that.
really
Where
thought about that.
A nice bun, you know.
I don't know. I
that's-
like a tray bake.
I just kind of like them all.
Well, I'm with you.
It's 15's a tray bake, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
a tray bake. Yeah, what's
Classic
it?
example. Everything just
I love that.
grab everything and shove it
I
together.
only recently started liking 15s. It's just
They're unreal.
But cherries or no cherries?
no cherries. No
I'd go with cherries. Yeah, I like cherries.
See, with the auction room, I just asked the question, and I thought all day long people are going to go no cherries because who likes a
No.
cherry? 50-50.
I like cherries.
Unreal. What about you, Jude? Are you a
I like
cherry?
them. Oh, cherry and I.
Yeah, a
But
cherry.
I overly like those sweet cherries and anything else, but
No,
you
they're
don't
nice.
fuck with it.
Where do they come from?
I don't know. You don't fuck with it, but
That's the episode. That's the episode name there. Don't fuck with a 15. Don't fuck with a 15.
Yeah.
So would you have to take out all the cherries out if someone says would you have to run? You have to run into the back
of
and start
course.
taking the cherries
Absolutely.
out.
It's like a
Oh, no, I
surgical
think-
procedure.
cherry picker.
I think he. Oh, there you go.
Get the cherry picker in.
What's that boy doing up there? Oh, somebody at table 6 was ordering a 15 minutes.
There's your new-
Who knew Jude would be the one to be
There's
telling
the-
the dad jokes?
He's got a lot of respect on everybody.
Oh, yes. Yes. And now we've got his new stage name.
What?
The cherry
Cherry
picker.
picker. Thanks, Jude.
Very good.
That's pretty good.
White bread or brown bread?
Brown bread.
White bread.
Oh,
Old school.
You can't have white bread or brown bread with toast. You can't. It's just not as good.
It's not as good as
If
you.
you buy the
agree.
right brown bread, it is.
I would agree.
McCluskey, sourdough, thick bloomer,
Yes.
white bread out of McSwiggin's. Are you still allowed to call it McSwiggin's?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
it's always and that in the toaster. Oh.
What about you guys? White or brown?
I go probably white.
White. If I'm having like a bacon sandwich or
Sure,
something like that,
sure.
you
It
know,
entirely depends on if it's getting toasted or not.
I like a bit of, you know, they ever get those seeded ones? You ever get the
Ooh,
seedies?
yes,
Sensation
seedy
seed.
bread.
I don't know
they're
what it's
nice.
called.
Them Hobus
7
ones.
seeds.
Over 7 seeds. That's
Yeah.
a
That's
tasty.
good.
That's
It's
tasty.
nice.
I would say if
That
it's a
is.
good white bread, some white bread's really doughy.
Aye.
You know, fuck
Yeah.
that shit.
Sometimes it's nice to have shit white
Do you know-
bread.
The thing is, if you're having white bread, you're having it because you're having a big dirty bacon rollers.
Do you know what I love with
Maybe it's cravings for
You
me.
buy the Havas, the green thick Havas, and I put peanut butter and jam between it, like, and just my god,
PB and jelly.
just the whole might as well be the whole tub of peanut butter. Like,
Aye, you
reorder the
love
peanut
that.
butter for
See, I
next week.
love
What?
peanut butter on the Snacker Jacks, the caramel Snacker Jacks.
Oh,
fuck.
that's Morris
You
there.
used to
Like,
bring them to the gigs, didn't you?
Yeah.
it's tasty. There's some energy in
snapping
them.
away in the corner. What's that big noise there? It's just Rod and his snacker jack.
Hopefully, there's no peanut allergies at the wedding.
Aye, true.
No, I didn't bring it into the wedding. I used to have it in the van on the way to the
Oh,
gig.
just munching on the way.
Yeah, or the way home sometimes. But then I realised, why am I putting on weight? Oh, right.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I've just realised.
All the crumbs of the snack attacks.
You open the door of the van and it's just like snacker jacks coming out at you. Yeah.
Very good.
Snacker jack tack.
Potato bread or soda farl?
Oh, Jesus. You can go first.
Oh, thanks.
That
Hyndman soda bread. Yeah, although
Yeah.
it doesn't happen anymore. Sperrin Bakery's pretty good though.
I have to give a two-pronged answer.
No. Okay.
Go on.
Go
John
for it.
just
If
got
it's
a look.
freshly made potato bread,
Yes.
potato bread. Because
Okay.
it tastes
Can't be
nothing
beat.
like
Aye.
the packet
We've
stuff.
heard this. We've
Yeah.
heard this recently.
Yeah, but if it's out of a packet, then soda bread.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, that means you'd rather potato bread. So that's the first guest in a long time that's sort of said potato bread. You said potato bread,
I'm okay with
but
potato
yours
bread.
is inside.
Is it like vegan or something? I think it's vegan, right? So
Is
it's
it?
good for the vegans.
Is it?
Not the vegans, they're like from the loop. The vegans from the loop. Yeah.
It depends how you make it. If you make it with butter, it's not vegan.
Well, that's true. That's
know,
true.
um,
But now soda bread is good. Now, toasted or not toasted for your soda bread?
Toasted.
Oh, it needs toasted.
With a big lump of
Fried.
Exactly.
It needs to be fried.
cheese
as
on
well.
top.
Yes, aye. Like you make like a soda pizza.
Bacon,
thing.
yeah.
Aye. It's unreal.
All around the Fergal's for tea and
Not
Saturday.
for me.
Starving
Not
though.
for me. Bacon or sausage?
Bacon.
Bacon all day long.
Bacon.
What type of bacon?
Cooked.
Like,
I tell you what's good, and I'm not just saying this because I work in Tesco, but Tesco, and it has to be the 6-pack, not the
Is there a
10-pack.
pause for an advert?
Then, yeah.
I'll put up a
Every
logo.
little helps.
The logo coming.
That's it. The logo. Oh, yeah, I like that.
Coupon code.
That's it. Staff discount. Just come and see Neil. Yeah, the 6-pack, the thicks. It doesn't shrivel up in
Well,
the
sort of
pack.
what I meant was smoked or unsmoked or maple.
I smoked medallions.
I smoked all the way.
I like a nice smoked medallion.
Oh,
I don't know
Haven't had them in
why.
years.
like you always ate the medallions, and I don't understand. Like the fat's the best
No,
part.
I know.
I
agree.
I agree.
But hang on, that's because you're in your mad fucking carnivore diet.
I am just eating fat at the minute. See, ribs last night it was like 90% fat, like 10% meat. It was so good.
I remember being in Maghera, Ulsterbank one day, and a man came in, Mickey McCreefrey, and he came in and he was looking so good, and I said, "Why are you looking so good?" Because I knew you'd been doing the shred thing. And he says, "Neil," he says, "do not be afraid of fat." He says, "You're always told, be afraid of fat, He says, "Eat real butter, eat the fat off a bit of bacon." And I thought, that's a good point, actually, you know, because there is this thing of,
It's
it's
crazy.
good fat, bad fat.
Sugar's the enemy.
Big time.
Fat's not the enemy.
Funny, that's my sort of thing at the minute. I sort of was reading about that in December, and that's part of my sort of health kick at the minute. Cutting the sugar way back, I feel so much better.
You ever hear the history of that, like in the industries for food, where say like 60 years ago, they were like, oh, let's start to demonize things in our food. So they maybe started with, oh no, or like sugar. You know, this is low sugar, no sugar.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, like, all right, that's not really making financial sense. Let's demonize something else. Fat, low fat, no fat. And then a few years later, like, oh, fiber, keep away from fiber or whatever.
Yeah.
They do that.
and now everything's got protein. I was walking down the bread aisle in Tesco the other day, and there was muffins, Irwin's muffins, protein muffins. I'm like, seriously?
But that's it though. That's another thing. Cause
everything's now protein.
Yeah.
They do it with milk, and it's like people don't realise that there's fucking
Always
protein.
fucking protein, right? That's where the protein comes from in the first place.
They're literally just stating what's already in it and just putting big letters of it on.
Do you know one of the best ones? Sorry, I'm interrupting, but I remember when the whole food allergen things became like a thing, and rightly so, and I had to say in the labels. I remember I was living in Edinburgh at the time, and I was in the shop one night, and I lifted up this packet of salmon. I thought, that'd be nice for the tea, you know. And I just flipped it over because I don't know, it was on a health kick, and I was reading all the wee bits and pieces at the back. But it said allergen warning. Guess what it said in the back of it?
Fish.
May contain fish. It's like fucking $10.99. I hope it bloody contains fish.
May contain.
I may.
I don't like that may part.
I wouldn't like to see what the ingredients were. No.
May contain.
Very good. Here, how do you take your eggs?
I'm weird with eggs.
You're just
I'm
weird.
probably going to embarrass myself now. Well, I am weird, yeah.
Sorry.
I don't like the separate taste of the yolk and the white.
Right.
So I only like scrambled egg or like omelets.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Like fair, I can get with that too. Like, I don't really.
Yeah,
I get our brothers to see him.
Either probably omelette if I had to pick one.
Yeah.
A nice omelette.
We omelette would be nice, you're right.
That's interesting you say that, because my wee boy Fraser, right? So he said, "Daddy, I don't like eggs. What would you like for your lunch?" Fraser, a wee omelette there, Daddy, a wee omelette.
Yeah.
Stick your omelette
But you
on.
literally don't like eggs. But maybe he's got
you
that.
don't get that
but I
taste.
never thought about that before.
Yeah.
The white.
Well, no, it's actually the taste of the yolk I don't
Is
like.
it?
Yeah. I'll eat the white. Yeah, it's that yolky taste. Fuck.
These boys here are absolute carnivores. You see these guys here,
Yeah.
like you see.
At the minute, I'm
see
having
anything
like at least
animal wise.
six or seven eggs.
You'd eat the brain of a cow, like he would absolutely. We were talking one day about tongues and earlobes and everything. And
Fuck me,
Fergal was frying them in the house, like he was frying them and eating them in the
beef
house.
tongue.
Frying tongue.
I've had cow tongue.
Oh,
So
100%.
you've eaten liver then?
I don't like cow liver. Cow liver is really bad. Chicken liver I can sort of put up with.
But then
but
it's
not
small.
that nice.
It's very good for you. I'd love to like to
Chicken
eat it.
liver's not too
But,
bad.
no,
But
I
the
can't
only way I
smell it.
really eat it is like pate. You know, like. But that means it's messed up with spices and stuff. So really, I probably don't like the taste that much.
What part of a cow wouldn't you eat?
Liver. The liver.
Well, what about
You'd eat everything else. Fry the rest of it all.
I try everything.
Fair play to
I've
you.
had the
Cock
tongue.
and
The
balls
tongue's like
too.
the most.
And is it? I imagine a tongue being
Christmas. The Christmas market's nothing to him. Like,
No, the tongue, like there's an outside layer of it that you cut off whenever you after you boil it, because it.
Oh, you boil it first?
I boil it and then do it and fry it and like slices.
Wow.
It's nice.
That's like your sticks and stones thing. You had to chop the bit of steak when you were cooking it.
we have to cook it
Yeah, but
yourself.
that's just a steak. You know, it's yeah.
You're paying
It might be a tongue.
My son got me a really nice Christmas present. You know, like sticks and stones. You go in and they bring out the steak on the heated stove.
Oh yeah.
And then you finish cooking it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, he bought me one of these for
The
Christmas.
stone.
Aye, the stone comes on a wee tray. And,
All right.
and I actually used it for the first time last week. It was so nice.
Is it good? Aye.
Aye, because I like a medium steak, so you just cook the steak.
Oh,
There. They're happy with your cooks.
There.
What the hell is that?
I was Celtic. Celtic just scored.
Celtics fan.
Celtic just scored.
Bayern Munich, is it? Yeah.
So you just cook it rare or blue, whatever way you want it, and then just finish it as you go in the stone. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Do you not think that restaurant's very lazy in doing that?
Oh, right, making you finish.
Is that an experience?
They actually have no chefs.
I don't think Ro's lazy doing that in the house, but I feel like those sorts of places that's lazy. I was on a cruise 6 or 7 years ago with Clina and her family, and her dad would be a real big foodie, and he'd be like, "Oh, can't wait for this food to come out and all. Would you see this? Would you see this, John?" And like we're all sitting down. And basically, it came down, and they were basically finishing the food. And I was basically thinking to myself, "What the fuck am I doing here? Like, why am I cooking my own food for me?"
Yeah.
I just did not get the novelty of it at all. Do you like that?
I've never really eaten a
Well,
rat. No,
the thing is, boys, the steak is cooked and seasoned.
Aye.
So it's literally
Before you get it.
Aye, so it is properly cooked. It's not as if.
Oh, is it?
It's not a raw fucking slab of steak they hand you. It's cooked.
it's cooked
seasoned,
and then you
cooked.
finish it off.
It's cooked, probably blue. And
That's not.
and then
Oh, it's a raw fucking steak you get.
Is it?
Where
Where did you go?
Steak do you read? And I was warm away to go there.
Have you been in Sticks and Stones?
No, I haven't been Sticks and
no.
Stones, but I've got that somewhere in Dublin years ago.
No,
That's the way they do it.
well, sticks and stones to cook it for you. You cook
And then
it.
you cook it
It's
up more.
seasoned, so it's cooked well and seasoned well, and then you just finish it to your liking, whatever way you.
So if you like it rare, you don't bother cooking
I would
it.
literally go here. Go and finish that in the kitchen there. And bring it back. I don't know how. I barely know how to cook. Never mind me trying to cook in a restaurant here.
See, one of the first times I went out for like a proper meal, you know, because you didn't really do that years ago. And somebody came out, and I think it was down. What was that one? Moe's Grill down the road.
Oh,
Years
yeah,
ago,
yeah,
right?
Castle Used to give you a
Moe's Grill.
mountain of stuff.
It was a mountain, right? Tobacco onions. They were just like stacked. I could almost get them from my cherry picker, you know. Remember the first time they came out and said, "How would you like your steak cooked?" And I was like, I thought they meant like in the oven or like on the pan. I was like, really anxious. I was like, oh.
Make a wee for cheese.
three days.
Extra 30 seconds.
That's hilarious.
It's like, oh man.
Fucking boil that steak.
You're a waiter's nightmare. they're sitting trained. They're trained. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to say to this man.
They just lifted a lump of firewood and brought it over. Said, cook your own, man. Cook your own. Yeah.
Sticks and stones.
Sticks and stones.
Chinese or pizza?
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Oh, Rod,
Which
that's
one?
a tough one
That's
for you.
that's a real tough one. That.
I've heard you've went to Bournemouth for a pizza, Fergal.
Bournemouth?
Was that not in Europe?
You talked about that.
You were
on
chatting about
episodes.
that with James. And with James, you were chatting about being over. I don't know, Bournemouth
You
or
said
something
you were in
for a
Bournemouth
pizza.
and you had a terrible weekend.
Oh,
with food.
Jesus, the pizza was terrible. That's right. Everyone got like, it was my fault. We went to a pub and they were all getting lamb shank and, you know, traditional pub grub. And I was like, I'll have this. I like the look of this duck pizza. This sounds nice.
A what pizza?
Duck pizza.
Duck. I know. It was my mistake. It was my
My
mistake.
Are you
God.
sure it said duck?
It's a duck, yeah. And this thing came out, and I mean, it was shaped like that. Like it was weird shaped,
Like a
and
duck.
there was barely any duck on it for starters. And like everyone else felt sorry for me, and they started giving me bits of their food. They were like, "Here,
My
look,
God.
have some of that. That's fucking."
Oh,
I would put that back. I would send that
That is
back. But I'm
absolutely-
not a guy that sends food back.
Too nice.
I don't have
Too
that
nice
in me.
to say.
Would you not, Jude?
Never.
Never.
I've never done it.
When I was younger, I wouldn't have. As I've got older, I've obviously got grumpier.
Aye.
And if it wasn't up to standard, I'd politely. I wouldn't be nasty, you know. I'd be polite,
Yeah.
but I would say, "Hang on,
Aye, Sticks and Stones, you say, here, go and stick it in for an hour or 10 minutes.
did you cook that in the microwave, lad? Come on."
Aye, Neil, stick it in the microwave.
You want to hear what he says to me every night at the gigs? I'm never cooking you a steak, right?
Yeah.
I learned that tonight.
Well, aye, sorry, I didn't answer the question.
Sorry, Chinese or pizza?
I do like both, but in taking the laws of consistency,
Chinese.
no, I would go pizza because
Would you?
there's a lot of crappy Chineses about.
Oh,
I would totally go Chinese if you're
Going by consistency, that's what I would have said.
consistency
Gloopy.
of what?
I had some bad pieces.
Consistency of the actual food.
Yeah,
Or
I go
consistency of the
pizza, I go
quality.
pizza all day.
No,
every day.
I thought it was quality you were talking about.
well, that's the real quality through consistency.
Aye.
There's some
I would have
real-
said Chinese is like, you can't go wrong with like a
Well,
curry
I-
half and half or something
I
like
have
that.
Crohn's disease, so I could my system can get upset very easy.
But yeah,
so
you're right then. Pizza's
a
the
lot
way to
of
go.
lot of Chineses.
Yeah.
I have to be quite
MSGs and weird shit on
Yeah.
them.
And you've also got your own now pizza oven.
Yes, my
Right.
girlfriend bought me a pizza oven last year for my birthday.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
nice.
Is that one of those
We
wee
outdoor one.
Unis.
Is that what you have? Is that what you
No, I
have?
don't have one of them, but there's some job. Like,
So
not
I
deadly.
started last year then making my own pizza dough and making my own
Lethal.
pizza sauce.
Class.
Oh my, far better than any, not a pizza restaurant, but far better any pizza
takeaway.
yeah.
So I've got really, you talk about a coffee snob, I'm turned into a pizza snob.
That's class.
So we're going to actually go and do weddings, right? But do the whole day thing. Right?
Yes.
We're going to go and do
To serve the food.
coffee, buns, and tray bakes,
Nice.
cherries, no cherries, and then the music.
That's a long
Bring the
day.
punjana.
You'll be, you boys be sleeping by the first dance. Never mind. Fucking
It happens, yeah.
full belly full of pizza. Indian or chippy?
Sorry, hang on.
Sorry,
He did-
you
he
said
did an
Chinese.
I did not.
You did. You said Chinese.
Did I say Chinese? But we're so blessed here around this area that we have so much good stuff of everything.
Well, not
great
coffee, but it
Chinese
sounds
is.
like
I'm abstaining, but so many good Chineses. We got Notorious. Coco's Pizza was awesome.
Yeah.
And Notorious, brilliant. So
Just answer, Neil.
Chinese.
Which Chinese?
Do you have a go-to?
Castle Dawson. I've got to Castle Dawson.
Dawson. Castle Dawson.
You're
Oh,
staying
aye.
away from Magherafelt.
I live and work here. I have to
I've
hit my
heard the
bets.
Ballyronan ones.
The
I've made some
Ballyronan one's
I've
meant to
made
be
some
brilliant.
enemies in this
I've
podcast.
heard about it.
Aye.
I want to try it, but it's
Is it good?
a wee bit far away.
The one in Ballyronan?
Aye, I've heard good things. You've a bite.
No, whenever we're ordering food out at Clina's
He's going to Magherafelt.
parents' house, we usually get from Magherafelt.
Yeah.
So it mustn't be that good in Ballyronan.
Well, guys, before you move on to that next question, have you ever tried teppanyaki?
Teppanyaki. I have heard of what
There's
that is.
a place
What
in
is that?
Belfast called Three Levels.
Right.
So teppanyaki is the cooking in front of you.
Ah, yes, yes.
Is that
I haven't done it in Belfast, but I've done it
it's
before. Like,
amazing.
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's the nicest Chinese I've ever had.
Some crack too. Like.
Oh, it's great
Is that
crack.
them
do they
flicking it into
cook
their,
it?
their pockets?
Ah, yeah.
Aye, they do all the
do a wee
flipping
show
and
and then
that
it's
stuff.
all made just there in front of you, and it's oh my god.
Reminds me of Beverly Hills Ninja.
I know.
That's the best Chinese I've had.
There used to be a Mongolian restaurant, maybe still is in Edinburgh when I lived there, and that's exactly it. They had all the meat and all the spices and all the vegetables sitting out, and you went along and did recipes on the wall. So you used to make your own. I give you a bowl, and then they made it.
Wow.
Then you took it up and they had a big sort of a massive wok.
Right.
And then
And
they
they
fired,
just fry it all
and then
up
you
for
just
you.
fried it all up, yeah. And then
deadly.
you're like so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like that.
Kind of like the opposite of Sticks and Stones.
Yeah, I was going to say. You could have something to say.
You're prepping the food this time.
You're the fucking sous chef.
You're the sous chef. Yes.
Holy fuck.
That's where I went wrong with the auction room. I was we were doing it all. We're like,
You should just.
next time you guys come in, right,
Bring
you
the
get your own
coffee.
coffee. That's it.
Grinding the beans out.
Yeah. I think that's my pet hate with a lot of Chinese because it's all obviously all pre-cooked.
It is,
for
yeah.
speed. I probably am a bit of a food snob. I really appreciate fresh
ingredients.
Food.
Yeah.
It just tastes so much better.
I don't like Chineses. We get one regularly enough, but it just shows who's in charge.
Who's the boss?
Lear.
A Lear, probably.
Definitely. Burrito.
Beer or stout?
You didn't ask the last question.
I did.
I'd
It
keep
was
you right.
Chippy or Indian or something. You had-
Yeah,
Oh,
you went.
shit.
Yeah.
Did I go to it?
Well done.
I did. Good
Yeah,
shout.
fucking
Good
slacker.
shout. Here, go on, you finish. Indian or chippy?
Oh, Indian big time.
Indian all day long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Expensive, but worth it usually.
Well, Neil tried my Indian last night. He was pretty impressed.
Do you do
So
a bit of,
good.
must do a bit of cooking
You made
in
it
the house,
yourself?
don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sauces from scratch and all.
Well, no, let's
Don't look so surprised. No, totally. Everything from
Oh, you
scratch.
do, you do. Class.
Totally
let's
from- yeah.
reverse this
What
a little
was
bit.
it?
He said, Neil, would you like a little sniff
Yes.
of this Indian? I was like, I don't want a sniff. I want a bit of it. It looks
Well,
amazing.
it was cold, you see. It was out of the fridge. I didn't think he wanted to eat it. But
What was it? What was it?
I made madras last night.
Nice.
Oh, I like Madras, yeah.
And
nice.
a friend of mine recommended this company, I can't remember, the Spice Free, I think they're called. And they make the spice kits.
Oh, cool.
So it's like 4 different blends, and then they have a recipe book, and you just follow their recipe with the different blends. And obviously all ingredients. And
Isn't that the
it's
thing with the
easy to
Indian?
do, and it's fucking amazing.
Teaches you
So
something.
And it's
good.
healthy.
Aye.
There's no crap in it. So it suits because I have Crohn's, it suits me. There's
Very good.
a lot of preservatives and things like that would annoy me. My system.
If they were all
You
pre-made.
really need to know what you're putting into your food
Yes.
constantly as well. Like, which
more 80-20, you know. I think before I understood about diet and stuff years ago, my system was always under fire, so to speak, simply speaking. And once you understand what works and what doesn't work for you, that 80-20 rule seems to work for me. My body can handle a bit of stuff here and there.
bit of something.
But it has to be mainly you need to look after yourself and be accountable. I suppose a lot of people don't want to be accountable for their health.
Well, it's hard work, isn't it?
It is. It's a pain in the arse.
They don't make it. They don't make it easy.
Literally.
No. It's, yeah.
Literally pain.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Bobby, my mate, he mentioned this kit, and oh my god,
Good job.
highly recommend.
Very good.
If you want to attempt cooking.
I've never tried cooking like proper Indian food from scratch.
It's so much nicer. And the smell in the house. Oh my god.
There's we went to a friend's house, my girlfriend's friend's house, and he's from India, and he made us a biryani from scratch.
Oh, there you go.
And like he did the pot, like there's chicken thighs, and then the rice and all the spices and stuff, and then on the sort of pot that he had, he made like a dough around it, and that's how the rice gets steamed with all
Like
the
a sort of naan-bready type dough.
it's like a dough and you don't eat the dough. It's the dough's
to say
literally
to eat it.
there
Oh, you don't
just to seal it, to seal the like.
I wouldn't mind doing
there's
that.
a traditional way of cooking biryani, and oh my god, I made a show of myself that night. I had half of it. Like
Fair play to you.
That sounds amazing.
Anyway, sorry. And did you answer that one?
You said
You said Indian.
I'm
as
pretty
well,
sure it's
didn't
we all
Indian.
say
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Indian,
Probably would go chippy. Probably actually.
Oh my.
Now that you think about it, I'd love.
Jude.
Indian.
I love the Peshwari naans, and I love the Indian food as well. But there's something about like an American burger that I love.
Well, that's not chippy.
from a
but-
chippy.
No. A proper
Smash
like,
burger.
a thick like quarter pounder.
I love
I
it.
know what he
Smash burger.
means.
Really
I go to
smash burger,
football.
like,
I was going to say a
a
football
nice-
match burger. There's something different about
A
that.
what?
nice-
A what?
A chuck wagon
A
burger.
jump wagon burger. Or
Oh
something
no,
about them.
that's a different question.
That's a different burger.
That is
isn't
a
it?
different experience.
I love a big thick American burger, but that size there. And the meat is just really thick, and you got lettuce and tomatoes and gherkins, and you've got mustard in it and relish and like the toasted
Dirty
bat.
burger.
It's fucking.
Do you know the best burger I think I've ever had? And people used to go there years ago, and it was always the ice cream. Sean Agnew's ice cream.
Just about to say
Ice
that.
cream, right?
And they did burgers.
Their burgers were
This is
class.
it. People were like, he did burgers. Unreal.
burgers
Them
were
burgers,
class.
and they came in a little paper bag thing.
Yeah.
And it had yellow and red and white.
Toasted the bun.
Toasted the bun. But, Jeff, what was it about those onions?
The onions.
The onions were like in a sort of
I
a
forgot all
gravy
about
thing.
that.
Oh, no.
I forgot
And
all
I
about
think
that.
I just remember sitting in that wee back room
The
ordering.
the juke player.
The jute box was there, and you had these little wee cups, mugs for your coffee, and they were coloured on the outside and coloured in the inside. Actually, in the auction room, we had little mugs for our flat whites that were coloured on the outside and coloured on the inside. And that was a wee nod to me remembering when I
Those
was
days.
wee and used to go to Sean Agnews. But Sean Agnews' burgers.
Unreal.
Was that the wee place? What do you call that street? King Street?
Yes, I think it is. We're Dormans and
Queen
all.
Street,
that.
Queen
Do you know
Street.
where that would have been now? The
Moneymore Road, as
that,
everybody
you know
calls
that
it,
Bubbly
yeah.
Sips place.
Yeah.
Is that where it
It's
is?
around that area, I think. It's around that area.
So I
Well,
remember-
there's
so
a-
we're both ex-Rinny boys, so I remember that when I was at the Rinny.
Aye.
You know that
That's
place.
right. That's right.
Do you remember the wee candles, the wee red candles in the news at each of the tables? It used to be like the wee old school. It was like a red glass. It was like a red glass, and it was like an ovally sort of shape.
Good memory.
They were
Good
I remember.
memory.
Anyway, beer or stout?
Oh, beer.
Yeah, I got like grown up there. You know how to do that.
Ron pulled me back.
All right.
See, he did do it, but he missed the previous question.
That's what it was. I was like, fuck. I'm
Ron pulled me back.
Yeah.
Beer, stout.
Beer, probably.
Well,
IPA.
IPA to be
Yes.
clear. IPA.
Yes.
Ron, you're
Yes.
showing your colours
Yes.
here. You're a food and you like your food and your drink. You're a snob.
Yeah,
You're a bit
probably.
of a snob.
So my girlfriend says.
Yeah, 100%.
She's like,
100%.
shit
I
out of me.
like IPAs as well. Like I'm just
slagging
saying.
off our guests.
Slagging against them.
Hey, bring it on, bring it on. As long as it goes both ways.
It's not a slag. It's not a slag.
So
I'm the
you
same.
like you IPAs too?
yes, sir.
What about you guys?
I do like an IPA. I think, Fergal, you don't? You're
No, I don't mind an odd IPA. I can't drink too many of them. That's the problem.
I don't like the old grapefruit ones. I can't have
Yeah,
them.
if they're too sweet as well, sometimes
I don't think they don't need to get into fruits. They just need to keep with the APA and try the different shades.
I don't understand why, because I'm not going to be anal about why it's how it's made, but I just generally prefer the hazy ones.
The hazy ones too.
Yeah,
The
they're
hazy ones
nicer.
are they're not usually more of a wheat. They're more of a
No
wheat.
idea.
I have no
just
idea
drink
how
the
they're
fucker.
made.
And,
I used to be a snob with IPA hazy. Do you remember I used to get the box ordered?
I did too the odd time.
Was it like beer 52?
52,
Was
that's
that
the one.
the one?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one you got.
Is
and
it good? Are they good?
They are good, aye. My brother still gets it every
well,
month.
funny, Curtis, my son, he got me a box of that last year, and then he said it's a free box. I got you a box. Oh, great, thank you. And then the next month another box came.
Oh, you're saying
So I forgot to cancel it.
That's what
That's how they
happens.
get you.
That's what happened to me.
Well, it didn't get me. I'm not paying for it. And then the next month another box came. I got another free one there.
He didn't.
And the fucking boxes are coming every month time.
They weren't free. They weren't free. He was forgetting to cancel it. That's what happened to him. See them companies that start subscription services.
Clever.
They I'd say 80 to 90% of their clientele are people that forget or couldn't be bothered or too scared or phone phobic to ring up the companies to cancel it.
Yep.
But I wasn't phone phobic, because every time they get me on the phone, they were so charismatic.
Oh, really?
I'm like, okay, fine.
Oh,
It's like quitting the gym and then this like
Exactly.
this
You're
like
just
tall,
looking-
beautiful blonde and this male bodybuilder comes in and goes, why do you want to quit the gym?
I was like, I don't.
Did you maybe,
You don't want to look like me?
I'm sorry.
did you maybe ring when you were taking one of them creative breaks? You know,
Maybe.
Trying to get your head reset.
I don't know. I'm too nice for my own good.
Very good.
bless.
Dog or cat? Dog or cat?
Dog all the way.
Cat.
Cat.
You cat person, aye.
I've got two. They're also.
Have you?
Yeah.
didn't know you
actually,
cat.
actually two from my daughters.
From
too.
your daughter.
Did they get
yeah.
out of the house?
No.
They don't roam. No.
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 I'll not go into the reasons for that.
I
but,
don't. I've never had cats or anything
But,
like that.
Because
no.
they're chained up.
That's Cat o' Nine Tails. No, Ghost and Luna, they're awesome.
Yes, Luna. I remember Luna.
Well, actually, this is a sad
mentioned
story.
Luna.
This is a different Luna.
oh,
Because we
Luna
had
too.
to get poor Luna put to sleep in the summertime.
Oh no.
And then we thought, right, if we're going to get cats, we'll get two cats. And then Rod's daughter, Zoe, had
8.
a number of
8
cats.
fucking cats, yeah.
So Abby, my wife and daughter Maisie, went up and came back with two cats, but one of them was called Luna. And then I had this sort of weird sort of like, oh no, I can't call this cat Luna because like my Luna was called Luna.
Yeah.
But Luna is now Luna,
a new Luna.
so it's all good.
Would you secretly in your head Luna 2? This is Luna number 2.
Luna 2 to the dining room. It's Luna 2 to the dining room. Yes, all available in multi-skilled to the checkouts. Yes.
Hello,
guys-
Luna.
So I have a dog. So you know what? I'm a guitar player, so I'll give you 3 guesses what my dog's called. Test you.
Gibson? I don't know.
Good guess. Good guess.
Very good guess.
Good guess.
I was like, who's
I'm
Gibson?
surprised by that.
Jude.
I was thinking of guitars.
Eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
Hendrix.
Into.
Hendo. You call him Hendo for short, probably.
No.
Or Hendrickson.
He's yeah. Well, he actually has he has a nickname. He's called Beast as well.
Right.
Beast, that's
You call
good.
him
And then
Beast.
we have 2 more to try to get. 2 more names for the dogs.
No, I've only one dog.
All right.
I've given you 3 guesses just.
I did all right.
Yeah, Neil's away for piss already.
Go for it. Watch the leads.
I know my daughter Zoe got a new dog last year. She's a big Marvel fan, so it's called Loki.
Oh, that's a good name.
And it's basically a German Shepherd. It's like
Lethal.
a German Shepherd with a wee bit of husky. It's essentially just his tail. It's his father was a purebred German, and his mother was like a German with husky.
Oh,
cross.
yes.
So he's essentially a fucking German
Must be
Shepherd.
a beast.
Big dog.
Well, he's 10 months yesterday, and she got him at 4 months. And Hendrix is a cross with a collie and a Springer Spaniel.
Oh,
She's like
lovely.
a medium-sized wee
Yeah,
dog,
yeah.
you know. And he was smaller than Hendrix. He's now twice the size of Hendrix. And he jumps up on you. He's nearly looking me in the eye. He's enormous.
Aye, massive.
But lovely. It's such
That's
a lovely
crazy.
temperament, you know.
Oh, that's nice.
If you like dogs.
Oh, no, Neil.
Neil actually met him last night for the first time.
Who's this? Sorry.
Loki.
Oh, I look, yeah. Well, he met
So
me. I should say.
Neil came in the door, froze.
I did.
It's a big dog, like.
He looks intimidating, but he's not. He's he's so
Oh,
soft.
those eyes.
Yeah.
Like my wee girl Maisie, she'll be like, "Dad, I'm going to do the puppy dog eyes on you." And she just kind of stares at you. But like Maisie, I admire your effort. But he really did have the puppy dog eyes. Just these.
What do you guys?
You have a dog.
Dogs, cats?
I do, yeah. I've a cross between a Chihuahua and a Dachshund. He's called Burrito.
He's
Chihuahua
awesome.
and a dachshund.
A Chihuahua and a Dachshund. So he's got the
He's got a long Chihuahua, is it?
long, basically a longish Chihuahua with tall legs. So, and then the head is about the size of a Chihuahua, but he's the markings of a Dachshund. Oh. So it's so random. Whenever we got him, he was about 3 weeks, and we got him in a car park in Newry off a traveller, and he was about he was about 7 foot. And he was about 5 foot wide, and his fingers were the size of sausages, and he had gold.
This the dog or the traveller?
The traveller.
Oh right,
Traveller.
it's just like because Burrito shrunk a lot.
He had gold rings. He had these big gold rings on him, and we were like, it didn't sound suspicious until the morning that we were driving there, and we're like, we're on our way now, blah blah blah. It was during COVID, so we were one of them people that was like, we need to get a puppy during COVID because we had plenty of time, and went there, and he showed up in the van, and he was like, we can't go to the house because of COVID, or you can't meet the parents of the dog because of COVID. So he showed up. This dog, I mean, it was smaller than my hand, and just goes, "There you go."
3 weeks.
And he just goes, "Did you send the money?" He goes, "Yeah, I already sent the money." He didn't even check if I sent it. He goes, "Did you send the money?" He goes, "Yeah," and he just handed it over. And then like Clayton was looking at me shaking, and I was like, "Take him, take him, put him in the towel." And then me and him made real small talk. I was like, "Right, I'm away here." Get into the car. And she was holding him in the blanket, and we were literally like, "What the fuck just happened?
What have we got?
What have we got here?" Like, and so we were driving the whole way home, basically in hysterics, going. We're like, we don't care what this dog is. We need to look after this dog. This is mental. What had just happened?
Rescue Rangers.
And we didn't know how many weeks it was or anything. So I was sitting there that day. I was sitting on the counter in the kitchen. Clayton was going to work that night, so we just got the puppy. He was fine, and about an hour later, he had so many problems wrong with him. He had skin, he had gut problems, he had loads of problems with him because of the conditions they had him in for those say 3 weeks. So he started to blow up. He started to like expand like a balloon. All the size of him started expanding like a balloon, and I literally was like watching this happen in front of my eyes. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I just grabbed him, took him to the vets.
Jeez.
So he was in the vets for like 3 or 4 days, just trying to keep him alive. And then they just told us, this puppy's only about 3 weeks, and he's got all these problems, crazy problems. He wasn't well for maybe a year after that, like in terms of the problems.
Wow.
Cleared up, and now he's very, very
He's
healthy.
awesome.
Like, he's doing class. He'd bark the leggy, like. What's this? Is this about?
It's gonna be new.
Is this lockdown puppies?
Man gets shock of his life when he buys 2 toy poodles for £150, only be told by the vet that they were actually giant rats pumped up with steroids to look
My God.
It's locked there.
Can you send me that?
I will, yeah.
I'll show that up on the screen whenever.
imagine.
But anyway, he ended up. He could have been.
My God.
You see by the markings, he could have been a Doberman. He could have been. He could have been fucking anything. Like, so we
Could
took
have
the
been a fucking giant rat.
I could have been a. Fucking could have. He looks like a wee rat at the moment, but he's a cute wee rat.
It's very cute.
But he was tiny for years, and he's very healthy now. Like, and you can hear him every night barking, so he's definitely healthy.
What have you, Fergal?
Nothing.
Nothing at the minute. But my girlfriend's thinking about getting a cat, and I'm very much against it.
Right.
I don't want a cat. I'm not not that it. Firstly, I'm allergic, so if I come visit her, it's going to be a nightmare.
That's fair.
Allergy tablets. You not take allergy tablets.
But what? Every time I go to her house, I'm going to take allergy tablets.
Selfish of you.
That's selfish of me.
You don't get hypoallergenic.
Maybe I. Well, look here. If she really wants to get one,
That gay. Where was that story? Scotland?
I have no idea where.
Where that gay?
It's also a pure sensationalist.
That gay is showing you a hyperallergenic cat.
exactly. No, but if she gets one, I think I can like accumulate. You can kind of like Acclimatized with that word.
Or something.
Apparently you can.
Well,
So I just by
Just man's up.
I'll visit for like an hour, maybe come back and visit for 2 hours or something.
Eyes
like
all
that
swollen.
but
Well,
no,
I
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'll only get like itchy eyes and
That's
I
not
would get.
nice, so-
My girlfriend has 3 cats, and Zoe has now 2 cats. And Zoe's moved back home with me, but when she had all the cats. But my girlfriend has 3 cats, and I've sort of become a cat person. I've become a bit of a cat dad. One of her cats, in particular, like, is my cat now. I come in and he sits on my knee like a wee dog, and he rolls over and he looks at me and he wants his cuddles and his
guaranteed
scratches.
I'll be the cat's best friend if she gets one. Like
You'll
that'll
be-
be the way.
You think Claire did very little looking after.
That's one
Cats.
positive.
Well, that's why we have them.
They look after you.
Yeah.
Fucking
They really do. They're so, like, my wife and daughter got stuck in Scotland during lockdown for, turned out to be 4.5 months. So I was living at home by myself. Well, me and Luna won. And like, Luna saved my life, because like I was still working at Tesco, not knowing if you were going to be dead or alive one day to the next, and the world was just going crazy. But every night I come home, that's right, Luna was there, and like, she would never have come into our room, but when they were away, Luna knew that I was just not in a good place, and she would have come up, cuddled right into me in the bed, and I was like, oh, Luna. And it's like, they saved my life, honestly. So they're amazing.
Animals,
so intuitive.
Animals are crazy. Like, whenever Clint is sick, like, Burrito would let, you could tell Burrito knows. He'd be overdoing, like, cuddling into her and like trying to make her feel better. And you look at him and you can see him like sad for her. You know, I'm here sitting with her, and I'm sad for her, and I'm trying to make her feel better. Like, it's nuts, like what they feel.
They're brilliant. Like, lockdown was sore on me. And like, Hendrix was with me all day, and you just talk away to him.
Aye.
You know?
Aye.
He doesn't talk back, unfortunately, but it feels like he's talking back. You know? It's weird, but it's a nice company. You know,
It's good to get out for the walks as well.
That's what I'd like a dog for. I'd love a dog to walk.
Conor Larkin's song was unreal. Dog.
Oh, yes,
how
yes.
good was that song?
Need to send you the song
Aye, it
about
was
Bert,
brilliant.
about Bert his dog.
Bird is dog.
He was just.
I've missed that one.
It's amazing. He played it at the end. So Conor Larkin's this artist, but he also, like, if he put his music up online, he'd be a top 10 artist, like, in terms of
he's
music
amazing.
as well.
He's
Like,
so
his
talented.
talent. And he
Songwriter.
started playing this song at the very end of our podcast at his studio, and it was an amazing song, but it was about his dog. And you could tell he was telling us the story of his process of how he creates his art.
yes.
So he say it takes months for him to make loads of art, but every single morning he comes in and Bert's there, and Bert comes in with him and he sits there, and Connor would take an hour to himself with a guitar, and he just sit there and just play away, just play whatever he wants, and that gets him ready for the day.
Yeah.
And then he gets into his artwork. So he's like an artist first and foremost.
Yes.
And the music is just to relax him.
Yes.
And the song was absolutely ridiculous, because you knew he was like, he knew his dog so well, and he was and the lyrics were just nuts. Like, you just and you could tell he had so much time to think about it too, you know. And
That's
it
awesome.
was nuts. Like, it was such a good
Mutts
song.
nuts.
Jude, what about you?
We always had Coolies growing up with a wee Jack Russell in the home house now. The first house dog in a farmhouse, like, there was no such thing as a house
Nice
dog.
dog.
Yes.
Aye.
What's the wee Jack Russell's like around the farmyard?
Oh, that shit mental. We keep in the lead like he'd be mad.
Oh, really?
He wants to eat everything. But no, he's made for the house. Like, he's
Yeah.
a pure house dog. Like.
You'd have none running around the land at all? Like, no.
Not at all, no.
Never?
We live in the main road, so we'd go straight to the road.
Aye,
Like, so
true.
he's,
Yeah.
We take about walking all the time, and we'd let him off briefly, but he'd just come straight back on the ice. We wouldn't let him off the. Not the same as a Coley, like, you know, that being said, or Coley could have big cars, but they always survive.
Different instincts, probably.
Different is he's no road smarts at all. He doesn't know the road. He doesn't realise it's there. Like, you know, he'd just be walking up the middle of it, which has happened. You know.
Yeah.
But no, nice wee house dog. He's class. He's a good looking wee dog.
Aw.
Class.
Well, we were looking to move from Castle Dawson into Magherafelt a number of years ago, and we saw this really nice house on the Ballyronan Road. And bear in mind, we had 2 children at this point, right? But I looked at this house and I thought, no, we're not moving in here. And Abby said, well, why not? Why not? Lovely house. I said, yeah, lovely house. I said, but if Luna runs out onto that road, she's just going to end up like squished like a pancake.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, right, I see the priorities here. So the cat, I was like, well, you know.
Part of family too.
They are, though.
Yeah.
They give so much.
100%. No,
What's next in the quiz?
Next, because Jesus, mind. This is
Don't miss a question
This
here.
is
'cause
mastermind.
Rod-
Rod seems to have got the questions before.
I think he's seen these already.
Hot or cold?
I secretly have watched every episode.
He's a secret fan. Hot or cold?
He's like Stan, isn't he?
Hot or cold?
You're hot and I'm cold. You're.
Is that the song?
Hot or cold?
I like cold. Yeah.
You're cold? You like
yeah.
cold?
Yeah.
I think I'd be more.
Never wear long sleeves. It's.
I think I'd be more of a cold person. So what do you like? You hot or cold?
Probably cold. Yeah, I'd prefer like a skiing holiday than I would if I was going. That's the way I look at it.
So you can layer up if it's cold,
Exactly,
right?
aye.
But if it's hot, well, you can layer down, but you get arrested. Like, but
I
so
just hate the cold. I hate, see this. I'm guessing you fucking do this. Cold showers.
Oh, I've done them before, aye, but I wouldn't.
You look like you do them.
Come on, you're Mr. Ice Bath. You did fucking ice baths every
I like
day
go-
for months.
I like
ice,
going to the-
ice baby. That's it. Ding ding
I like
ding
going to
ding
the-
You
ding.
look like a
ding.
baby too.
I like going to the splash. You know that they have like
Oh,
yeah.
sauna
That's good crack, yeah.
and jumping into the.
So that's a
thing.
big thing.
But
right?
I just hate cold.
Aye, there's some people can't.
Instant cold, you know.
Some people can't do it.
You know,
like,
the cold showers, I've tried them. I'm like, it's like,
I think-
I'd nearly pass out.
I think the hot's better for you than the cold is.
Yeah.
Like
Like the
going to the
shower.
sauna. Going to the sauna is better for you than.
Sauna's brilliant.
Apparently, the cold water therapy is more to do with like mental health and like feeling good afterwards doing it. And the scientifically, I think the sauna, if you get it to a certain temperature for a long enough time, it's meant to, and you do it regularly enough, it's meant to have some health benefits.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Where the other one, I don't think it does as much. So I've been told.
There you go. There's science anyway.
Fucking bro science. Please don't listen to me.
There you go. There you go. Splash. There's an advert for you. Don't know if you want to put that out.
I love that place.
Splash is awesome. Yeah.
Mega menu. So this is something we do. It's called the mega menu. In the podcast is we do a starter, a main, and a dessert. You can take it from anywhere you want in the area or further afield. Sorry.
I'm gonna enjoy these.
And you can pick a starter from down the road. You can pick a main from, the Tilly Lamp. You can take your starter from Belfast or your dessert from Belfast. You can take a sauce from here. You can take a side from there. And you create your mega menu of where what you feel is the best meal that you can make and you would love.
Interesting.
That's hard. That's tough.
It's tough, but
Is that my water or whose water is that?
you can have that water.
Thank you.
It's actually Neil's, but it'll be alright.
It's all good. Karen
sorry.
is sharing.
Jude, I'm hitting the mic, sorry.
Grand.
Karen is sharing.
Are you going first, or are they doing it together?
No, they can't do it together. They like different food. Well, he
I
likes
don't
this.
know.
Starter. Where favorite starter?
Well, we went to the Taj on Sunday night. It was my cousin's 40th, so we went there and treated him to a Taj. And
What's your cousin called?
Ben Crockett. So
Happy
big
birthday,
BC,
Ben.
Yeah, So we had the mixed meat starter. I know it's a bit cheating because you get
No,
20 things.
No, that's okay. That's
But
okay.
actually, it was lovely because there was a
That's
wee bit of
allowed.
lamb.
There's no rules.
So what was there? Like chicken bakura? What else?
I don't know what they was. It was just lots of
Nice.
meat.
Lots of nice stuff.
One was green, one was red, one was sort of burnt, but it was all like in a good way burnt.
What's your starter, Rod?
It's hard.
You had that one
gonna-
recently.
No, well, that's what I was just about to say. I was telling Neil about this last night. Because it's so recent, it's definitely the best starter I've had in a long time.
Okay.
Sam and me, my girlfriend, Sam, we went to Sticks and Stones in December. We went to actually see Garen Noon.
Brooks?
No, Garen Noon.
Oh, Garden. The Irish guy.
Aye,
He does
TikTok.
TikToks and sings.
So we went to see him. It was so funny. It was
Very
really
good.
good. But that was our sort of meal beforehand.
Yeah.
And on their starter menu were, I think they call them broccoli wings.
Broccoli wings. Right.
So I thought, well, what's that there? And I didn't see anything else really I fancied. And I do like broccoli. I can't eat a lot because I'm too much. It's hard to digest. So it would maybe flare my Crohn's up, So I thought I'll try that. And it was broccoli with teriyaki sauce and like I think toasted almonds or something like that.
Right.
Oh my God!
Good.
Never
aye.
in my life did I imagine broccoli could taste so nice.
Was it deep fried or anything? Was there done?
Did you have to finish it? To finish the cook on it?
You what?
Was that section stones?
Yeah. No, you cook everything apart from the steak. It was sort of like toasted or something.
Aye.
Because it's a wee bit crunchy at the ends.
Right.
Oh my God! I literally nearly licked the plate.
Yeah.
I feel like someone's mentioned that before.
I had there was a
Did you?
tapas place in
Maybe it was you.
Belfast, and they had this cabbage dish.
Cabbage?
I know. I know. I'm as shocked as you are.
I'm like, hang on, rewind.
But it was like it was stewed in something, and it just had the nicest flavor. And like this is tapas, so we had like sausages here, deadly
Tapas is awesome,
fish
though.
dish. We had a deadly thing. My favorite thing was the cabbage.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
It was so good.
Aye, well that's it. You know, a good chef can work
make
wonders.
anything,
You know,
it's
and
true.
like
So
the
good.
flavour. If you ever go,
I'll
like,
give
I
that a
can't-
go. That sounds
I
lovely.
cannot recommend. Like she couldn't get over it because I organised to go to see Garen. So she says, "Well, I'll take us out for dinner," and she knows I love a good steak, so she's expecting me to be raving about the steak, which was lovely. But that's all I talked about for a few
Was the
days.
broccoli.
Fucking broccoli.
Sounds lethal, to be fair.
So
Me and Neil, I seen you there stewing over it in your head.
These are hard questions.
Do you know, I'll open it up as well to say that you can be nostalgic with it too. Like it can be, you know,
that's a
your
good-
granny's tart and your
people have done that.
your auntie's steak. It can be that sort of thing
Right,
as well if you want.
Yeah.
School dinner, fucking custard or something.
oh my God.
Coconut sponge.
I used to mush my dinner up,
Yeah.
and I remember getting told off by the dinner lady.
So you should.
and I refused to take school dinners after that.
Really?
I was only like P1.
What's wrong with
something.
mashing up your dinner?
That's what I thought.
I don't think it should be done.
It's like I basically that's what
My
Irish
daughter,
stew
my
is.
daughter's
Shane
the
is still
opposite.
does.
Everything has to literally have
It's like a tray bake.
have a fucking border treaty in the plate.
Aye.
You know, yeah, the right.
In case there's a war. In
Aye,
case there's a
you
war.
can't touch anything.
Can't touch this. Ding, 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 ding.
Clina does her Sunday dinner. She just basically mashes it up and eats it like a child.
Unreal.
No,
I'm all for that.
I don't agree with that there. What do you mean you're all for
Have
that?
you,
want
ever,
a bit
have
of
you ever
everything.
been a dinner lady, John? Just wondering, you know.
You're some sort of food connoisseur and you think you can cook and you think you're class with all your food and all. And you take all these like real traditional lovely bits of food and mash them the fuck up on a Sunday.
They're gonna be mashed up in there.
Jude,
I'm with Fergal.
Jude,
you, Jude.
They're gonna be mashed up in
you,
there.
like,
the minute you put that in your mouth, what's happening?
You see the episodes these boys rip the shit out of me with their food? They rip the shit out of me with their food constantly.
But are you like kind of get? Oh, I'll just have this little
No,
pea
but I'm
here.
not. No,
Yeah, it's just
I
a
do.
pea. Yeah,
No,
yes.
I enjoy my food. I enjoy it
Hang on.
like in a normal person. I don't mash.
I'm going to
mash my dinner
try
up,
and save Fergal.
Thank you.
Fergal doesn't need
Because
save, does he?
what I think
No, I
Fergal
don't
meant, maybe I'm wrong, and if I am, he's a wanker, then I agree with you.
Okay.
But do you not mean you like to cut everything up and mix everything on the fork?
See, I was going to ask that question.
And then savour the combination of flavours?
I like the combination of flavors, but yeah, sometimes if it's like,
A stew or something.
I'll mash it all together.
A Sunday dinner. Do you fuck it all together?
Not usually, but like I don't think there's anything wrong with.
Now, you see, if you're eating a Sunday dinner, right? Would you, exactly that question, would you layer up your
No,
fork?
sure.
Would you put on some spuds and then a few veg?
Exactly,
And then
you layer up
at
the
the
fork.
very end, would you put on your bit of meat and then put it in?
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you do
Oh, I
that?
would do something like that.
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Well,
But I
that's
wouldn't mash the whole plate up.
flavour combination, you want to get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Me.
Who knew this was going to be such an interesting podcast?
I know. It always goes to food. It always.
The questions are off it. Main. Did you say main there?
I
No, he
did not
didn't.
know.
Go for your main there,
on.
Neil.
Sunday dinner at home. There we go. Because it's just good memories.
Aye.
Of just sitting down on a Sunday. I remember I used to work in Peggy Black's wee shop in Maghera, and you just get an hour for my break on a Sunday. So I'd come home at 1 o'clock.
Get the Sunday
And mum and dad would have the dinner made. I'm an only child, so it was just the three of us. And we'd sit down, and then Football Italia would have been on Channel 4, and AC Milan would have been playing Sampdoria or whatever. And you sit down, you have your Sunday dinner,
Lethal.
and you'd have a time with your mum and dad, and then you'd be like, oh, 5-2, better jump the wee mini and back in the road to Maghera here to do the rest of my shift.
Lovely.
And those are nice memories, so thank you for opening that up. It doesn't...
There you go. Well, I don't have a sentimental sort of mains like that.
Just go for something nice. Not that your dinner wasn't nice. Sorry.
I'm trying to. I was sitting there thinking while we were talking of something that really stuck in my mind. So this is going to be a wee bit of a weird story.
How long? There's a fire somewhere.
Is that what that is?
Right.
It's not here.
It's not here. So this is a wee bit of a weird story. I need to lead you into
That's fine.
Yep.
how this meal came about. But the previous singer in the band, Brenton and I were in London actually performing, and we were then heading back the next day, and we flew in. So we were, I don't know what station, Victoria Cross or wherever we were, but we had a train, change stations to get the train to the airport, and so we had sort of like an hour and a half to kill. We thought we'll get lunch. We were walking up and down the street, no idea where we were, obviously, and we seen this Turkish restaurant, and right, it'll do. So we both ordered. I think we both ordered steak. Well, I definitely ordered steak anyway, and it took ages. And obviously we had a plane to catch, and we were literally nearly leaving because it was taking so long.
Time.
And then it came down. Never, ever before or after have I had a steak like it. Whatever the fuck they did to that steak. Oh my god!
They cooked it.
Yeah, they cooked it. Yeah, and the flavour, it's just unbelievable.
Wow.
I have no idea why, but the nicest steak I've ever had. So that's. I wish I could remember the name of this restaurant, but yeah, that's my main.
So the Turkish train station steak?
The Turkish steak place near the train station.
A bit of alliteration, yes.
In London, so it's not overly close.
I don't think I've ever had
Fantastic.
Turkish
Desserts? Desserts?
Oh,
Are you go for
totally.
Dessert guys. Do you know what? I'm going to say this now, any guests that are listening. There's people like, I'm not really a dessert person. I think that's weird. Like, I think
I agree.
there's people like, I'm not really a dessert person.
I really like starters. Why?
Why? You're a dessert person? No.
Look,
Weird.
I try and stop. I try and stay away from it, but like if you give me sweet, I think it's weird if someone has like a sweet cupboard or a biscuit cupboard, because in my house there would be no biscuits left. If a packet of biscuits comes in, I'm eating the whole thing.
They get
I have
demolished.
no self-control whatsoever.
I have a biscuit cupboard, like.
So do I.
And you're able to keep like
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be in it every night.
and not.
I wouldn't be clearing it, like, I wouldn't be
I
clearing
would
it.
nearly have a fucking biscuit room.
Guys, I just don't have any self-control. I have to have nothing in the house because
So
I'll eat
you are a
everything.
dessert person.
Aye, too
Right,
much.
okay.
So, too much. So.
Okay.
There's
Sorry.
a cracking book, by the way. It's called A Nice Cup of Tea. I must get it for you actually for your birthday. A nice cup of
surprise.
tea and a sit down.
Right.
And it's just it was started as this like online blog, this husband and wife team, I think it was. And they were just like sitting chatting as we are about biscuits and a bourbon biscuit, for example. And do you like them? And what do you like about them? And do you like to dunk them? And if so, how long for? And blah, blah, blah.
Very wholesome.
And so they did this
Very
online
wholesome.
blog, and then they turned it into a book, and it's
lethal.
so good.
That
And it's
actually
like,
sounds great.
Like with biscuits, I know we're getting off topic, but like almost the cheaper the biscuit, the better it is. Like you get a packet of 38p
Easy to
custard
already eat.
creams.
It's easy to eat them.
I
Bourbon
love
creams.
custard creams.
They're good.
We have some
And there's so
bur-
many ways to eat the custard
we
cream
bourbon-
too.
Oh really?
I
Tell
would
me
like-
more, Fergal.
I don't know. Either you could like split it, you know, and have that as like two separate sort of biscuits, or you could split it and then you eat the wee side bits, and then that's just left with the cream.
How do
and
you
the-
split it?
You
How do
really-
you?
It's
you
difficult
rotate it,
sometimes.
you rotate
How
it.
do you have that skill? Do
You
you
really
like, do you
analyse
warm it
this
up with
here?
your hands, or do you like
here?
do you warm it up with your hands or something? Or
Huh?
how do you do that?
Sometimes they split, sometimes they don't.
It's a summertime activity splitting them.
It has to
Oh,
be
why?
warm.
Because
Oh,
You
Jude, does
need
it
to
work
play-
good?
You need to play it out in the house.
Yeah, we get a wee-
in the sun.
You're not doing that in winter time.
I know.
See you country boys.
We have nothing to do.
see you country boys. Yous are a rare breed, boys. Leaving your biscuits out in the sun.
Have you ever used the bit without the cream to scoop off the cream off the bit?
You've unlocked a memory of a childhood memory.
But only with the custard cream. I can't remember doing it with the bourbon.
Do you ever do the straw thing with the Kit Kat or the Penguin?
Oh, yes.
No.
I used to do that.
Yes.
No, with them Cadbury's fingers, I've done it
Right
with.
there.
Have you done with them?
What do you do? What else
Kit
do
Kat's
you
the
do with
easiest
Kit
one to
Kat?
do. You eat the end of it,
Each end.
of the Kit Kat and use it as a straw.
then you
Straw for your tea.
Turns your milk.
Don't tell Donald Trump he's banning. What is it he's banning now? Paper straws.
Aye.
Oh, he's bringing back.
Kind of. Like, I'm all for the environment, but they are rubbish.
They're horrible.
They are rubbish. You take 2 socks and then.
Oh, completely agree.
Even a Kit Kat is better than a paper straw.
It's kind of.
You're like from McDonald's sucking your. What do you call them things? The red
the milkshake.
smoothies. They're so thick.
One thing about Trump, whether you like him or not, and I'm not saying I like him, but he fucking says what he thinks, and you have to respect that. Like,
I don't mind him at all.
You know, some of his thoughts I would agree with, some of them not.
He's straight to the point.
I think it can be easy to jump on and say, "Oh, I don't like this person because," and not really have much substance behind why you don't like them, just because everybody else doesn't like them.
I think he's a lot smarter than people give him credit for.
He gets
so much PR, like
TDS, Trump derangement syndrome.
No,
so. Over the last, say, 6 or 7 years, when he started into the whole presidency thing, when people realised that he was actually serious and he could win, propaganda started with all the different media companies.
Oh, okay.
And that was the Democrats against Trump, where say there's 10 news companies, and about 8 of them are Democrat in their messaging. So they were causing fake news. So you remember Trump going fake news, fake news? It actually was fake news. They were making up lies about him for years. Yeah. And that's not to say he's a good person and the stuff he says is right, but for years and years and years and years and years, they were like pumping out all this fake news, like propaganda, like Nazi Germany, basically. Pumping out all this fake stuff and taking me sound bites and making them bigger than they were. And now everybody, like, I watch a lot of American politics and stuff and all those sorts of videos, and as you can tell, probably. But now you're kind of see this wee strange thing where he's like, "Yous aren't doing that anymore. I am cutting all that stuff out. If I say something stupid, I say something stupid. If I say something wrong, I say something wrong. But there's no more of this fake shit." And I think that's a good thing.
No, I think it's good. And there's a lot of good policies coming out with. There's also quite a few not so good policies that I strongly disagree with. But
mental at the moment.
There's a lot of very, I don't know if honest is appropriate for Trump, like, but you know what I mean, a lot of stuff that he's very straight talking about, and he's genuinely trying to help the American people. There's other ways he's obviously not.
But you seen the economy, the FTSE, is it 100 or whatever? It just went whoop when he was in power the first time. Going back to dessert, so I was thinking about there.
What a segue.
Come on, lads, let's get
No more Trump.
I was so well for Trump. But it's like that song. If the train falls off the track, pick it up, pick it up, bass drum, bum, bum. Is that like Fat Man Scoop or something?
Yes.
Appropriate for desserts, right?
What's your dessert?
No, I was there thinking, and I remember going to this. I moved to Edinburgh and I went along to this church house group thing to meet girls and
where are you coming up with these ideas?
You have to. I was young, free, and single.
Who the fuck goes to church to meet girls?
There's a lot of single girls at church.
Right, please continue.
Right, and anyway, so I remember going, and they used to do this, bring picky lunches or picky dinners over, so everybody brought a wee bit of something.
Oh, that's nice.
And so this girl, Christina, she was married, so it was fine, but her, she brought along this cheesecake, and it was I love lemon desserts, right?
Yeah.
And she brought this lemon cheesecake, and I thought, I love lemon. I bit into it, and I was transported back to I was 5 years old in Ashgrove Park, Magherafelt. And James was talking about Bradley when he was chatting about his music and nostalgia and close your eyes and think about when you heard this song and what you're doing, where you're at. And right there in the middle of Edinburgh with this group of people who I'd only met once or twice, and I was eating this bit of cheesecake, and I was transported back to 5-year-old Neil in Ashgrove Park, Magherafelt, eating. On a Saturday, we used to go to Ballymena shopping to the Tower Centre.
Big Ballymena, yeah.
Ballymena, right? Big shop.
This is some memory from a bit of cheesecake.
No, but this is the power of food, isn't it?
Is, yeah, right.
And that's one of the reasons why I was like, we opened the auction room, because we're like, you're not just making food here, you're like making possibly memories for people. But anyway, and we used to go to Ballymena on Saturday, and we used to get this, all the odd time when we could afford it, this packet of lemon meringue mix. And I think it was Royal, R-O-Y-L. It was a blue box with yellow and red and white, but like Sean Agnews paper in his burgers. But and we used to bring it home, and you used to mix up the biscuits were all crumbs, and you mixed them up with butter, and then you whisked up the whatever it was, the white stuff with your egg whites. And then we made this lemon meringue, and it was ready for you for the next day for after dinner. But this cheesecake just tasted exactly like this lemon meringue when I was 5 in Magherafelt. And I thought, wow, and I've still got the recipe for it. And it's lovely. But it's amazing the power of
It's class,
food
yeah.
and taste and
That's
memories.
your dessert.
That's my dessert,
There you go.
that lemon cheesecake.
Very good.
That's funny you say that. Like, the auction room will always be a memory for us. And because
Definitely because of shitty.
of Shady. Because that's where it
You
started.
guys met there.
I know.
We met there.
Oh, there you go. I was never even there.
Oh.
Good times.
Close
So
before
good
I met Neil,
times.
so
For sure.
Good times because you used to come down. You were working at Noons,
That's
which
right.
is no longer
Worked
there.
there,
either,
yeah.
which is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is
That's
going on with
sad,
the world?
Maghera's.
Do you know what? So sad. So many good people in Maghera.
It needs something like.
I
But
had so good memories of growing up, Brian. My granny was in the clockroom, and we used to walk from the clockroom in the sunny days, eating our bourbon custard creams and scooping out the middle. We used to go into Boyle's wee shop and Gullet Off and get an ice cream, and then walk in the Maghera, and you go up to there was the wee Kellys at the top of Maghera, and they used to do the edible paper. And I used to think, this stuff's amazing. I'm eating paper. You know, but many good memories in Maghera and the fair day. Was it
There you go.
Tuesdays and stuff? But good people, good times.
What do you call that? Is that Garden Street? What do you call that?
Garden Street, yeah.
Well, this were my
Dessert?
nicest ever dessert. Was that? There used to be a restaurant called Garden Street or something.
Oh,
Guard-
Church Street.
Church Street, you thinking it's Church Street?
oh, are you thinking of Church Street?
Yeah,
though?
Church Street.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's probably
Aye.
the old Church Street.
Aye, so it used to be called Church Street or something.
It's now called Church Street Barisserie or something.
Well,
like that.
Yes.
you're probably talking, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 years ago, whatever.
I would have been.
What? There was chocolate fondant on the dessert menu. And I do like a chocolate fondant, and but they're hard to get good ones.
They're hard to get good, yeah.
Sweet Jesus. This thing came out, and it looked really pale. I thought, what is this? You know, obviously they're normally dark and rich looking.
Yeah.
No, this thing looked fucking starved, you know, as if they forgot the cocoa.
Yeah.
You know, and then I cut into it and tasted it. Oh my God. I don't know what magic there was, but yeah, another episode of me nearly licking the plate. And what was so annoying, we went back about 3 months later.
Didn't have it.
Recipe
It
change.
was a fucking special.
Ah,
So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know if you guys, how much you're in the chocolate. I love chocolate, and this was rich, but not too rich. It wasn't too sweet. It was just perfect.
Church Street was amazing.
It was brilliant,
back
yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a nice place for
Yeah.
food. Like,
Aye, well, that's my dessert. Yeah.
very
Good
nice.
choice.
Very nice.
Yeah, well, just things. As you say, it's memories, and it's weird. Just certain
And you
meals
remember being there that
stick
night.
in your head, you know, and so those are
good times.
obviously the broccoli is a very recent one because there's not many standout starters, but yeah, those other two have stuck with me.
I actually thought about doing like a blog while we're out with the band, because very often we're very blessed that the bride and groom will say, "You guys help yourself to the buffet."
Oh,
Even if
yeah.
we don't, we do.
Right, brides and grooms out there. Honestly, when you ordered those 120 bacon rolls, they were for your guests.
They were there.
But it's like sometimes you go out and you're like, the food is unreal, so good. And
Can't help it.
You particularly like the wedding cake.
Yes. Well, I don't take it much nowadays, but I used to be like I
Loving
turned
out a
into
bit of-
complete.
And there was
fucking
one in particular
expert.
that you loved, wasn't there?
There was one, and it's again food. The way it sticks with you. I don't know the year, but I know the venue. It was Edenmore Golf Club, just outside Moira, and it's a strange wee place to play in because you're upstairs and it's not an overly big room. So the buffet's always served out in the hall, and so the buffet was served, and we went and got a wee bit of buffet and a wee bit of cake, and it was like a dark chocolate and raspberry cake. It's like
Like a raspberry
I don't even mean this the nicest wedding cake. It's the nicest cake, full stop, I've ever tasted in my life. And it's just amazing. So came to disco, and Brenton or myself both would have DJ'd, and the toilet was on the other side of the table. So I made a lot of toilet stops during the muffin. I just kept going, getting more cake.
Get more cake.
More cake.
I thought the cake was doing something to you.
I
I was like, it wasn't
It
that
was so
good.
nice. I actually went and asked the bride. I said, "Where did you get this cake?" This is my cousin baked it for my wedding.
Fuck's sake.
And fair play to her cousin because
That's lethal.
it was just amazing.
Just homemade sort of stuff. Like.
Aye, just flavour because it's like anything. I suppose you get fussy, and what I would have noticed when I used to take a lot of wedding cake. I don't really eat it much anymore. Try and sort of keep myself a bit more healthier, but you would have noticed all the ones that only use cocoa powder and they always were a bit bland and there wasn't much of a chocolate taste. And this thing was just.
You're bound to be a connoisseur of the wedding cakes now. Like
Yeah, well, it
over the
definitely
years.
was at the time.
1,000 weddings later.
Very
It's
good.
amazing, to be honest. It's a small percentage of them that are good. You know, because I think I'm not a baker, but I think a lot of it goes more in the presentation.
Yeah, it's the look of the thing, isn't it?
And
100%.
a lot of them
Eat with your feet.
Eyes.
Eat with your eyes.
A lot of them seem
Not
to
your
forgo
feet.
the actual quality of the cake, you know.
Yeah.
I'd say 5% of, at a rough guess over the years,
We're good.
Good.
would be really good. And
Probably smaller weddings too.
no, not necessarily, because I have another memory of one when we were playing in Calvin Crystal one night, and that was a big wedding, and it was amazing.
Lethal.
Yeah. So
Taste the cake. What you said? I've never had cake. I've been to loads of weddings, but I've never had the cake at the wedding. I've always
That's because he's always at it first. Sorry.
Cake at my wedding was good then.
I never had it, lad. I was.
You barely. I wonder why you didn't have it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Weddings are fun. I have a good time.
This is a good one here. We're done with the food, lads. It's over. 3 people at your dinner table. So this is 3 people that you would have at your dinner table, like anybody you want at that dinner table,
living or dead.
living or dead, whoever they are. It doesn't matter who they are. They are your table that you want, the people you want at your table to, to conversate with, to talk to, maybe you've never got a chance to, famous, non-famous, boy down the road, whoever it is. They are 3 people that you'd want at your dinner table. Neil.
I am rubbish with these.
Glad you asked him
questions.
first. It gives me,
I am
gives me time to think.
I am a sentimental kind of old fool, but no, I'm very much like, I don't know enough about comedians and famous people.
That doesn't.
I know it doesn't
have
have
to
to
be.
be.
Be them people. Jude says you should never meet your idols.
Idols.
Never meet your heroes. Fuck them. Yeah. Don't need to be.
See, I'm kind of like that. Like, I don't wear brandy things and
Nice Adidas.
I know, yeah. I was like, quick, take the shoes off. Take the shoes. There we go.
I don't wear shoes.
Yeah, I don't wear shoes. Yes, just my dogs. Yes, I
What's
got
that
it.
there? What is
These are my dad's socks, by the way. Like, my dad died 17 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, just wee things that keep people in your memory.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I think so. You just have to do.
Thank
wee
God you
things.
said that. I was about to slag them socks.
I was. Yeah, you can still slag them.
I like a pair of dad's socks, like an
slagged
old
them.
pair of socks, like.
I slagged them whenever he wore them.
No, but that's lovely. Honestly, that's lovely.
Are they? Would he be one person at your dinner table?
Well, yeah, my mum and dad are both now not here, so yeah, let's get them back for a chin wag and see what they're up to. When my mum died last year, right, and I'm laughing because my little boy and girl come up to tell me that this had happened. Like, I already knew, but anyway, we told them, and they come up and they're like, "Dad, we've got some sad news. Granny Doe has died." And Maisie said, "But it's okay, Dad, because Granny Doe's in heaven." And Fraser said yes, and she went into heaven, and Jesus and Grandad Merv were there waiting for her. And I thought, well, if you're going to go to heaven, that's a pretty good entrance, right? And my kids had never met my dad, but they talk about him, and it's really sweet and it's really cute and quite weird, but in a really cool way. And then my wee boy, he says, "Yeah, Dad, and do you know, Dad, Grandad Murph and Granny Doe, they're going to have another baby in heaven," he said. And you know what? And I just laughed. And I gave him the biggest cuddle. I thought, but you know what, Fraser? It's been like 17 years since my dad died. And I said, you know what? They haven't seen each other in a wee while, Fraser.
Really?
So I hope
It might have happened.
I hope they're having another baby up in heaven, because that just fills my heart with a lot of joy.
Class.
Oh, dude.
That's hilarious.
Bless their hearts, you know.
That's
Well,
so
that's
funny.
a couple. That's a couple at your table. Who else would you have?
Yeah, let's get mum and dad back for an out chinwag and yeah, Auntie Glenda, let's get her back. She loved the song and the crack and the fun, and it was my cousin Ben who were at the Taj with his mum as well. So
Very good.
Taken too young and taken too soon, and you're like, yeah, let's get back and have a party, because they were
Very
good
good.
people, they were fun, and big hearts, and yeah, good people.
Very good. What about yourself, Rod?
Well, my mum's still here, so thankfully I'm good in that respect.
Amen.
I probably, it's a tough one. There's quite a few options, you know. Probably one, which the majority of your listeners, viewers will not know who this is, but one of the people would be a guy called Randy Rhodes.
Randy Rhodes.
Randy Rhodes.
Course, yeah.
Yes. Do you know who that is, Jude?
Of course I
Good
do.
man, Jude.
I'm just wondering where this is going.
No, there's nothing to do with him being Randy. Randy was his name.
Oh, right.
First guitars.
Yes.
Atlantic 252
Yes.
DJ. Dusty
So
Beaches.
when I was learning guitar,
Beaches.
I think with anything, the first few years you learn anything is really when you grasp your core knowledge, you know. And I really loved it so much and lived it, and I was immersed in trying to learn his style. Now, this guy died young. He died in 1982, and he was 26, 27 in a plane crash.
Is that one of those 27-year-olds?
I think he was in the 27 club.
Yeah,
Really,
and
Jude, yeah.
so he only played with Ozzy for 3 years, 80 to 82. But anybody that's into rock guitar, which I am, will tell you that, like Hendrix, you know, what he left for having so little time, and the potential that seems to be that people have now missed.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable, and it's just his attitude. Because I was so into it at the time, he was just seemed to be such a lovely guy, and just wanted to learn so much. And so, yeah, I would love to meet him.
That's a good one.
Very inspirational, because when you're young, you do get inspired a lot more than when you're older, I think.
Yeah,
you know,
but
so it
more
really
cynical.
inspired me to practice and try and learn. And I would have learned some of his stuff back in the day. I don't think I could really play much of it now, but so yeah, he'd be one. I think an easy one would be Billy Connolly.
That's a good one.
He's,
I was actually thinking
Just
that,
for
yeah.
he's been mentioned a few times, actually.
Just for the crack, like, you know, the crack that man.
Oh,
would
lethal.
bring
Oh,
would be-
the stories.
would be unreal. And there's lots of musicians, but I think I would bypass the musicians because I can't pick another musician. I think Barack Obama. Just because I read his autobiography and he's so interesting.
Yeah.
So a wee bit more diverse rather than.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think if you're going to pick this, you might as well have a more interesting evening.
First black American president. You know,
Yeah.
he, in a sense, pushed a lot of different barriers.
Yeah.
So he would be an interesting guy.
Yeah,
That's a good one. I wouldn't have him at my table.
Yeah.
See you, Mike Jumper.
I'd have Trump at the table. No,
Fake news. Fake
I
news.
know where you're coming from, actually. Barack Obama would be actually.
Aye, well, I wouldn't have any party preference, whether it's Democrat or Republican. I don't know enough.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
just him as a guy.
I've read his book as well. It's
yeah,
quite good.
and it's so interesting. And such, you know, you can only try and read between the lines and believe most of what he's put in there.
Yeah.
But he comes across as such a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and I know the Republicans will smear him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
reading his book and how he treated the staff and treated everybody that he engaged with, it was so lovely. It's not like a typical president. You know?
Oh, I seen him. I just
You seen
remembered that. I seen him in Belfast. I don't know how I got it. What was it? My brother was friends with the university president at the time in Jordanstown, and they were given like a special amount of tickets for the Waterfront Hall, and he had visited Northern Ireland that year or whatever it was, and he went to Waterfront Hall for a talk. and I still have it somewhere in the house. It's like a bookmark ticket, and you just go up, and there was only a select amount. I think I was one of 10 people in the university to go to it, like random. That I got the ticket. It was just last minute, and they're like, "John, here, I can't go. Blah blah blah. Do you want to go?" I said, "Yes, I'll go to that." And I was up in the gallery, just looking down on to Barack Obama, just talking, and he was the president at the time.
And
like.
some speaker.
It was really, really interesting.
Whether you agree with him or not, it was such an amazing speaker.
I would appreciate it a lot more now, but back then I was still starstruck by it. Like, it was still very, very cool. Like,
no, it was amazing to see him. And sort of a near miss on my list there would be B.B. King.
very good.
Because I do love blues as well, and that's a big regret. I used to work in a place called Ray Sound. It was all professional.
I think I've heard of Ray Sound. Where's that? Where was that?
Cookstown. So when I started, it was all professional instruments as well as professional sound and lighting. They don't do instruments anymore, but they would have done quite a few sort of big tours, you know.
Yes.
And B.B. King came over to do a small Irish tour. Now, from my memory, the only time he's been here, he may have been other times that I just wasn't aware of, but we were doing the hire. But I was in my real full-on rock phase at the time. Didn't really appreciate any blues.
Yeah.
And could have went and met the band, and didn't even go to a fucking show.
You didn't?
I didn't even go to watch it. Never mind meet him. So it's just
a fucking blunder.
Oh, what? Yeah.
And now you've got a big canvas off him.
Yeah. Curtis got me a lovely canvas.
Crying,
my God.
Yeah.
That's it.
But his story, if you read about him, the hardship he went through as a child, and obviously the hardship just from America being so segregated, how he got to where he got, and still, unlike a lot of the older American, black Americans who are quite bitter, he was always this lovely guy. Anytime you seen him interviewed, and musically amazing, and he would be the sub.
He'd be the sub. He'd be playing the music in the corner.
That's it.
We've had a few people who cheated just like Rod did there, and they brought there's someone playing music in the corner.
Yeah. Nice. Have you just when you said Obama, I'm thinking about music. There was this lovely podcast that I stumbled. I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts, except this one.
Wink, wink. See it as
and there was a lovely one during sort of lockdown. I think it was Bruce Springsteen and Obama did this one. And it was lovely. And they were just chatting about being dads, and it was like being a dad. And I
seen it advertised. I was like, that is the weirdest fucking mix of people.
It is. Do you know what that reminds me of? I was just like, America. The two of them just like.
I suppose.
It was kind of like,
it's good representation.
No, of course, it sounds like a good podcast. But I'm just thinking to myself, whoever put them together were like, right, COVID's happened. Let's make a podcast. Let's just make it America, right?
Yeah.
President Springsteen.
Born in the USA.
Stick them together.
That's just what it's so funny. All these patriotic Americans used to love
sing a song.
Born in the USA and didn't realise it was slagging the USA off.
Anti-American,
Such a great song.
A great song.
Very good. One last question before we break. So, who is your musical inspiration?
Oh.
Apart from Neil.
Rod.
Is it a single one?
So
I'm not single.
If it's a band,
you can't say me. Sorry.
If a band or a musician, whoever, just like if you had to pick someone right now, just like who is my inspiration?
Well, there's so many, but like when I started playing guitar, I started as about 15, so I didn't think I would end up actually that would be my job and pay my mortgage and whatnot. But I started guitar because I love rock music, and a lot of weddings, there's not much rock music. Some of them there is, and we
had a mosh pit recently.
Yeah, we don't need much persuasion.
Metallica, last song.
That's class.
Ever Sandman, that's it.
There's not many wedding bands properly bring the metal, but we fucking do it. But the reason I play guitar is there's just a single reason why I play guitar, and it was Iron Maiden.
Right.
And
class.
Jude, you'd be a bit young to probably remember the advert, but there used to be a TV ad in the 80s with Daley Thompson.
Right.
A Lucozade ad.
Okay.
Is he the runner?
Yeah. And it was this guitar music, and pre-Google, as we all know, and all that. And what is that? I just love this advert, this music. no idea what it was, and somehow I found out it was Iron Maiden, and that was.
Are you looking
right.
that up?
I
Yes.
yeah. The song on the advert is called Phantom of the Opera.
And that was on Lucozade ad.
Lucozade ad.
Was that-
So
did you choose Iron Maiden because when iron rusts, it goes as sort of a Lucozade colour?
no, just purely the song.
Just complete.
It
okay.
really suits the running
The-
and
the
the advert,
what,
you know.
advert?
And
I found it.
it's off their first album, so it came out 45 years ago. And so I just thought I would love to learn to play that.
I
And
can't wait to see this.
I knew, can I?
Oh, is it here? Ah, look at this.
we're going to have audio, are we?
Yeah.
Come on.
I like this interactive
Iron's
vibe.
top rated freelancer on Fiverr.
So this is the reason I play guitar.
Oh, this really does
I
work.
believe this is in an ad.
Yeah, brilliant. And it really suits.
That rep too.
Yeah, it suits him because he now starts to run once the drums kick in.
That works so well.
Well, I didn't know what this was.
Also
I
here,
remember this ad, but not the song.
Last bottle of Lucozade.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So there you go.
Hard to beat.
So that is why I play guitar, and I thought
That's so
if I
good.
could ever learn that, and 2 years later I could play it, and I'm still trying to play the fucking guitar, but yeah. So that's my inspiration for playing guitar.
Also, sorry to interrupt, is that why the NHS is fucked? Because they've got to rid off glass Lucozade bottles?
Yeah.
Because that was like the cure,
That was the
wasn't it?
medicine.
Hangover cure.
Doesn't matter what you're
And
dying.
you
He's
needed
on, his
the
death,
or-
he's on his deathbed.
and you needed the orange wrapper around the bottle as well.
Oh, you held that up and everything turned orange. You're like, ooh.
What do you need?
Good question. I love country music growing up, and but also love added lots of like 1950s and 60s stuff, and Chuck Berry and Johnny B. Good and all that. So music was just always around in various guises. There was country music. There was. I remember Mum having the Prince Purple Rain big record, and just music in general. I just loved music, and that's what I love about being in Juice is that, you know, people say, well, what kind of stuff do you do in Juice? And I'd be like, we do everything from Daniel O'Donnell to Metallica and everything in between.
And this is where the seat.
This is where this.
Let's just say.
That's like your daughter's dinner plate, isn't it? Yeah.
Jude's
The
a big,
Berlin Wall or whatever it's called.
Jude's a big Daniel O'Donnell fan.
Are you actually?
It's not actually-
I don't you say that and take the piss, 'cause I'm-
No, he is.
I always hated him like any person who grew up in Irish country.
No,
I hated him.
no.
When I turned around, he's brilliant.
No.
He's a big fan. I'm serious. He is a big fan.
And you know one of the like I used to love a guy from
He's
Castle
definitely a national treasure in Donegal.
That's it. Sean Wilson from Castle Dawson plays the accordion. And you're meant to say, accordion to who, Neil? And that's the only... You give me that one.
That's the tuning joke there.
There we go. Brilliant.
No, but Sean Wilson, and he just did all these amazing wee Irish country songs. You know, there's an old cottage waiting in the country and all this stuff. And like, I am so sentimental and such a big sap, and I'd cry at anything. But he walked in. I was working in Tesco one night, and this guy walked past, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's Sean Wilson! This is crazy!" And like, I know he just lives in Castle Dawson, so realistically, it could be him. And then I kind of like was like, "Right, he's going to buy stuff." So somebody was on the checkout that he was going to go to, and I basically went up to them and I said, "Right, you need to get off. It's your break now." And they were like, "Neil, only started 5 minutes ago." And I said, "I don't care. It's your break. I need to serve this guy." And I said, and then it was all started, so I couldn't really speak. And but eventually, over a course of a period of time, we got chatting, and I was like, "Hi, Sean. He doesn't know my name, and that's fine." But
It's fine. It's fine,
like-
Sean. You didn't realize I was here.
he looks and spies, and that's enough. And I'm like, "It's Sean Wilson," and like that's amazing. But just local people doing stuff because they enjoy it. Because see, when it comes to singing, people go, "Oh, I can't sing. I can't sing. I can't sing. I can't sing." Nonsense. Everybody can sing now. Some, albeit maybe better than others, but everybody can sing. But there's this whole thing about stigma around singing, and I'm just like, just do it, enjoy it, have a laugh with it, and but no, not really one person, but just music in general.
You
just
would have
brilliant.
loved my old job because we sold to all the bands. You know, all these guys giving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you
Who
would
all did you have coming
Everybody.
in? Oh,
Yeah.
BB King.
BB
Even fucking BB King.
You were the server.
But you were like, yeah, it's only BB King. Yeah.
I'm away on a break here.
Actually, the biggest customer that nearly happened, didn't quite happen.
The door locked or what?
Yeah, the door lock. when I started, I eventually became manager in the sales end of this place. But when I started, I just started basically to restring guitars and talk to people about guitars, and eventually, obviously, learned and worked my way up. But I was specialist for a few products in Ireland because we were the only company that sold them. And because of this, U2 came on, looking to try these Mesa Boogie amplifiers. And I was supposed to go to Dublin to train the Edge, how to use the amps.
Lethal.
But no, not to me, because I was still in that mad rock phase.
You would have hated him.
So I don't want to go and talk to that fucker. But obviously the owners were fucking delighted because the PR was going to be amazing. And so that was okay. Now, just for clarity, I really respect his playing nowadays, because you get older, you understand. It's not all about
You're so
speed.
pretentious when you're younger.
I was all in the learning technique stage, and he's not a technical player, but he's a brilliant musician. So just to be clear, in case anybody slags me,
He listens. He does listen. So.
And so I was not interested anyway. But the day before, it all fell through. The fax kids don't know what faxes are. Probably when the fax came through, then whatever happened, I can't remember the reason, but plans changed.
Well, I thought it was like Age's rival, the Fax. The Fax was a
That's the thing again.
Yeah,
the Fax.
The Age. Yeah,
The
right
Fax.
enough.
Yeah.
The juice.
Oh, it's the juice.
The
Maybe we
juice,
need to rebrand. The juice.
So that was nearly my claim to fame.
Fantastic.
But,
We're going to take a break, lads, and we're going to have you play a wee tune for us if you fancy it. And I'm going to get the tay on, and you guys
Have a bun.
get set up, and Jude's going to fiddle around.
yeah.
Well,
Fiddle around. He's
I
never
was
played,
hoping it was that
he's
kind of
never played
fiddle.
the fiddle, but he's going to fiddle in a minute.
Well, fiddle in the middle.
So we'll take a wee break. Thanks,
Thank
Jude.
you.
Thank you.
Like you.
Well done, team.
All right, we're back anyway. We're back anyway. What are you?
For the best
What are you
bet.
looking at?
Give him the cookie.
Taste a wee bit of the coconut cookie.
Is this coconut?
Yes.
Oh,
Was
okay.
it Shady
Where are you
Dolphin? Sorry.
Corner Shop Bakery in Cookstown.
Corner shop. Very good.
Shout out.
Shout out
Brim
Corner Shop.
full of Asher on the 45. That was Corner Shop, wasn't it? Everybody loves a bosom for a pillow. Everybody loves a bosom.
What's that?
Corner Shop.
Well,
I'm not old enough.
wanna let.
Needs chocolate.
It needs chocolate, does it?
So you guys in Shady Dolphin used to have like Wee Bun Friday, am I right?
Wee Bun Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
A Wednesday. sorry, I told you my
Lauren
memory.
brought that in. I think it was.
Yes.
Lauren.
yes,
And she
yes.
had like the most basic fucking taste for buns.
She had like Rice Krispie.
Rice
buns.
crispy buns every week. That's all she'd have.
Fucking love Rice Krispies.
They're good. They're good. Don't get me wrong, but every week, that
Good
woman.
Rice Krispie,
That's all she
yeah.
wanted.
Look at crispy. Look at one.
No, I'm good.
Lauren, I have to say those square things are really good. What do you call them? Those Rice Krispie squares? I know it's like not technically not like a.
Yeah.
Is that a traybake or a biscuit? Oh, anyway.
It's something similar to it there.
What have we got
I'm
going on
having an
here?
eclair. I'm having a wee eclair there.
You're having a Claire.
Having a wee eclair.
Mom would want the eclair. Like, that's right. I seen that. I thought.
That's a aye.
There's an eclair man there.
staple.
Well, the eclair's mine anyway.
If
So
I wasn't on the diet, I'd be probably eating that eclair.
So there was this bakery in Glasgow, right, where every bun, every cake was £1, right? Except this one cake, and it was £5. So this customer comes in one time, it's like, right, I'm going to ask here why this one's a £5, you know. And so he goes up to the guy behind the counter, like, look, I've been coming in here for months and years. I always wondered why that one was a £5. And the guy says, oh, that's Maghera cake. Yeah.
is that a real story or is that a joke?
That's a neat fucking.
You've caught me there. I feel like I'm between a joke and a story.
I
there.
know,
was really good.
Rock and a hard place,
Well
that's
done.
it. That's it.
He sells them well.
Sells them well, that's it.
Yeah, that's the first time I've been sold that actually. That was very good.
Thanks.
Very good. Lads, we're just enjoying a wee pastry here and then we'll get into a wee song. And then after that we'll get into a wee origin story. Tell us a wee bit about juice. Sorry. So what is it like between you two? What's the dynamic? You're the
I bounce a lot.
both of you sing, both of you dance, both of you play. What's the
Neil's the singer. I do some backing singing, but we wouldn't get to work if I was doing all the singing. Yeah.
And we definitely wouldn't get to work if I was strumming my 2 chords
Yeah.
that I know, yeah.
So I sort of run the show on the night. I choose the music and obviously play the guitar, and Neil dances and sings, or sings and dances. I'm not sure which order that goes
Dance and then sing,
Yeah.
yeah. Bounce and sing.
Bounce.
Bounce and sing.
in. Yeah.
Like Tigger.
Do you do much chatting between songs? What do you have much mic work, or is it just normally song to song, or?
Well, it just depends on the night, because we have a very simple, and I think it was very hard for you to start when, like, Neil's in the band now 2 years. I think you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this was very hard for you to start because the band motto was very simple: if people are dancing, we don't stop.
Right.
And that's difficult because we don't use a set list, so you can never get into a flow. So if you play music, you probably understand it better. But if you're used to playing songs in an order, that's nearly like one big song.
Yes, right. It flows into the next one.
2.5 hours long song, as I found out. Yeah.
When he started, and I was fucking changing it every night, and he didn't know where he was. You know, I think you found that very challenging at the start, didn't you?
Yes, Rod. Still do, Rod. 2 years later. I'm not sure where I'm like.
And is that not normal then to do that?
No, not really.
See, I was in a band Skull for years, and we did loads of gigs. We come over to, I was saying to Rod earlier, we played in the Terrace many years ago. We come over and played for the Belfast Giants at their award ceremony for a couple of years, and many, like, such good experiences and just great memories. But we would generally always have had like a sort of a set list.
And that's it.
You know, and not that you couldn't deviate from it, but like generally you knew sort of, right, here's our first 6 songs, here's our next.
You might deviate a wee bit, but essentially
you knew
you had the night sort of worked out. And most guys are the same. Even they'll tell the customers, should we say, the brides and grooms, oh no, we'll play to your crowd and whatnot, but they don't, you know, and I don't get it. It is more difficult, but ultimately you're
So
there.
much more
You're there for the bride and groom and their guests, and there's nobody there to see the band, and that's what a lot of people in our line of work forget, that if you're doing a concert or you're doing a pub gig, chances are people are coming to see you.
So they're not coming.
There, you can work with them. Nobody goes to see the band at a wedding. Nobody cares, you know. So
true,
we're just staff, and we're very visual staff, but we're just hired to help them enjoy the night, and we have to suit them.
So there's if the certain song is vibing well with the crowd, then you stick to that sort of genre.
Aye, it's probably as simple as that. You know, obviously a wee bit of experience gauges what.
Yeah, you know when to bring it down, bring it back up again.
Essentially, if they're dancing, we keep that vibe going as long as we can. If it tailors off, we'll change it.
Yes.
If we do what we call a floor killer, well, that's our time. Getting to answer your question, that's when we talk in the mic.
Ah, right, okay.
So I do the Billy Connolly thing. I eventually get to the answer. But
When a Taylor Swift's off, you missed that Taylor Swift segue
there we go. And then
Taylor Swift would stop a party, alright.
Love T Swift. We actually
well,
like T Swift.
we do love
love
story.
it.
We do sort of
I
like
like
a
her old-
rockier version
I
of
like
it.
her older stuff. Like, I don't like
She's
any
been
new
on the
stuff.
go from like 2008.
She needs to take a break.
She's like Avril, right? I love Avril Lavigne. Avril's been about
Avril
for
Avril knew when to take a break.
Aye.
No.
Well,
Avril does never need to
No, she was
there's a big
class.
conspiracy that she's dead, and that's it.
That's
It's a
right.
body double. Yeah.
I don't care.
Very good. That's interesting, and that's a very unique perspective. Then of, I take it there probably is a lot of egos in your industry of wedding sing.
Well,
bands.
going by, we don't run into many bands. We know quite a few bands, you know, and I don't think the guys that we would know. Not
good
from my
guys.
knowledge of them. I don't think they would have that, but the video guys are like the sort of gossipers,
Ah, okay.
you know, that we see, you know.
I've
and-
done a few videos. Yeah,
yeah, and we hear a lot of stories from them, and because we're our mindset is just about the wedding,
Yeah,
and
entertaining.
everybody's there to make the wedding work. So we'd always like do wee simple things, like while we're setting up, we'll go and chat to the video gauge or the photographers and say, look, first dance, what way do you want the lights? And we'll set our lights to suit
That's
their
very
cameras.
kind,
you know.
yeah.
And it's always, if it's a new person that we haven't met before, it's always a big surprise, because a lot of times bands
Nobody
won't
ever asked
you'll
that
get
question.
bands even won't talk to them, you know,
Oh, no, they
and they'll just, if they ask them, change like the politely
Just
told
be
to fuck off.
run and gun sort of stuff.
Aye,
That's-
you know, so we're very much, you know, we're all there to work together for the good of the wedding. And
But you drive that, Rod. I mean, your experience is that if you want the best video for your first dance, it's imperative that the
The
lighting
light
is
has
right.
to be
And
right.
we've got an awesome lighting rig.
yeah,
So why
no,
not make
our
best use of that?
lights are unbelievable, you know, and they're so bright as well. So that's
really
why we
good.
talk to them, because nowadays it's all LED lighting, and there's a blueness to
There
the
is,
white.
yeah.
And
That's so annoying
so
when you're
we
video.
can change the tint of that if they want us to. Obviously, we can turn them down, which a lot of nights to do for the first dance. They're maybe a wee bit overpowering on white. And just it's a wee simple things like that, but it's all them wee small things help
Make a
make the
difference.
night better. You know, if everybody works together, and even being nice to the venue staff, because the next night we're in, there's no hassle for us.
You get an extra
We're-
cocktail sausage.
Yes. All those wee simple things, you know.
Very good.
But in regards to the talking on the mic, yeah, we kind of quite a bit of banter, you know, in when whether I need to stop the tune or need a sort of reset. Fuck, what did we do there? We need to change our plan, and we'll have banners either side of the stage so people can text up their numbers, and we also.
Text a request.
Text up the request.
Their numbers.
And
I'm
yeah.
married.
Come on, give me your number.
Maybe back in the day when you started out, Rod.
You and the dress, send your number.
Yeah. Come on.
To be fair, that happens Curtis
That
quite a lot.
that-
He's
well,
the only unmarried member of
It
the
happened Curtis,
band.
last year, yeah, a couple of bars and
Curtis does our
messages come up
sound
to
and
him.
lightning.
Very good.
But
Lightning.
so we have that, and from last year we started every wedding that books us gets a song request page made. I make it for them on the website. So in advance of the wedding, the guests are sending through requests to us, which is brilliant. But if we stop to tune to chat, we'll also just shout out, look, what do you want to dance to? Come up and chat to us, send us the message, etc. etc. So
Very good.
and there's literally no game plan, because these jokes come out of him, because he then will say something while I'm tuning. And a lot of times I am as surprised as the crowd are, you know. So then
The shade he's talking.
and then I have to jump on the mic and embarrass him.
Yeah,
You know,
rescue. I think the word is rescue. Rescue the situation.
just sort of explain to people, hang on, I'm not part of this.
I picked them,
you know,
I picked them up in a car park in Uri
Earlier today.
earlier
banter.
today.
but,
Yes.
but I think you know, and you've really fallen into the same mindset as me. We have a very hopefully professional approach, but very relaxed.
Yeah.
And we just like chatting to people. If they want to chat to us, we'll chat back.
I think we love people and we love music.
Yeah.
And we love what we do. And I think you were saying earlier about what makes great coffee. For me, two things. Having was a skill and will. So you gotta like know how to make good coffee. You also have to want to make good coffee.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that applies to any
Everything,
discipline.
Aye.
You can know the technical sides of how to set this up, but you know it's
Well, it's really relevant to our thing, because you can say, well, look, we could play whatever we want to play, you know, and we could play some maybe more technical stuff that we would really appreciate, but they'll not get people dancing.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So it's about what people want and what works for them, you know. And I always say, you know, and I'm only speaking for me here, but I'm doing it a long time. I'm doing it 20 plus years now. And this stage, 15 to 1,600 weddings. So it's seen every type of wedding you can imagine. But as soon as I walk in the door, I just put it into my head, this is their wedding. It's their first time.
Yeah.
And most of the time it is. Maybe the odd time. it's not,
The odd time.
You know, and
Double booked.
so they haven't seen, they don't know what's going on. It's their big day. It's not a day at the office. So a lot of people forget that, you know. That,
Yeah.
you know, oh, fuck. It's
like suppliers forget that.
Aye,
And
wedding-
I've said that
wedding
to you on the
suppliers,
road, and the way down, I remember going through the Moy actually one night, and I said, you know what, I'm always impressed by how much respect and care you give to the bride and groom, because you always go over and big hugs, and you know you spend time before, during the break, after, especially after. You don't just like, right, we've made our money, let's clear up. He's over chatting to them, you know, everything go well and blah blah blah. And, you know, you genuinely
Well,
care.
I do really get invested, and it's very hard to get that across in your promotional material. You know, like I try and have the website informal and informative, but try and distill that to be semi-punchy, because people don't really want to read that much.
No.
But it's very hard to get across that you actually genuinely do what we say we do. You know, it's not marketing spiel.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. It's just this is the website here, isn't it?
Yes. And there you go. We never use the set list. Highlighted. So, yeah, it was just, you know, I'm doing it a long time, and you know, and I think it's the same for Neil. We really get invested, but we also really enjoy it. when the crowd really get into it, and you can see some of the lovely videos there, and the crowd are having. And Neil's brilliant at that as well, because he brings such an enthusiasm with him. He's dancing about so much and carrying on so much, you know.
I love it when the disco happens because I don't have to sing. I'm down there dancing. They're like, yeah.
But I think, you know, and not everybody will like everybody, you know. So not everybody will like what we do, and not everybody will like. Well, maybe some people think, oh fuck your man, I wish your man would play less guitar, and somebody maybe think, I wish he wouldn't dance as much. But by and large, I think it works for the majority of people, and I think people feed off his energy. You know, because I don't have that energy because I'm trying to focus on everything else. And I can't dance with a guitar on me. I can't dance without a guitar on me, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But he brings that really. I love it, that enthusiasm, and it's just. I think people feed off it, you know, and I love it, and I love to see how the crowd follow it.
Yeah, the vibe from it.
You know, because we're both of the mindset. I'm sure you've seen it, guys. You go, well, it's a wedding or a pub, and the bands are there, and they're just all head down, and they don't engage, and they don't really want to be there. That's how do you bring that energy then to a crowd to try and get?
And you know what? And that's hard, Rob, because some nights you're going out. Like I remember, like my mum died last May. We had a gig in Cookstown at the fair, the food fair.
Yeah.
Like 3 days after my mum's funeral, and you were like, Neil, are you okay doing this? And I said, no, I want to do this. I feel like this is the right thing for me to do. And, you know, we were chatting about Avril Lavigne there earlier as well. I remember going to see Avril the first time ever in Dublin. And she came on and, like, it was brilliant because we were like the tallest. I'm not even tall, I'm 5'7", but we were like the tallest people there because we were all like, this is brilliant. I'd be able to see that. We were right in the back, right? But her last song, she came out and she started singing it and she broke down and started crying. And you're like, what's going on here? And it turned out her granddad back in Canada had died. Yeah. And yet she came out and she just found out that morning. And I remember doing that gig up in Cookstown last May and being like, you know, nobody knows what you're going through in your own personal life. And that's the same in all our jobs, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, just very, very visual, you know. And as you say, that was tough because I was going to pull it, but I left it up to him.
100%.
And because there was a wedding the day before your mum's funeral.
That's right.
So I got a brilliant guy in last minute to cover. And it was very stressful for both of us, me and the other guy. Practice to try and cover what we do. You know?
Yeah, of course.
So it wasn't the smoothest wedding ever, but he did brilliant, you know. And,
for the situation.
The wedding went not too bad, you know, all things considered.
But
and then I didn't think we would do. It was the continental market. The council had booked us just to perform at, which is I personally don't really like that type of thing because people don't dance and you're too far away.
Not really half listening.
That's not our setup. I've invested heavily in a really, really good setup. So we're very, very fussy about it, and so.
But it's very therapeutic, isn't music? Like that day, I got up there and I felt very. Is it cathartic? Is that the right word? And
you did great. You
know? No, it's not about me. I'm just saying, like, music does. There was Avril that night just breaking down in tears, and you're like, you had no idea that the poor girl, you know, this is a human being. This
people
is a girl
don't like
granddad.
Because before I get my Crons touch root under control, I was very ill all the time, and when you're standing on stage in crippling pain, you don't look happy. And the amount of nice people come over, cheer up, you grumpy cunt, and no idea, like. So, and that was for a long time, probably the first 7-8 years of the band, until I eventually learned about diet and supplementation, you know, and stuff like that. There, exactly what Neil says. People have no idea what's going on, and like since COVID, I had a very tough time, and you're standing up there, and you've nowhere to go. You just have to put the game face on.
Yeah,
you know, but that's the job. People, you know. People don't, not that they don't care, but your bulk of our work is weddings. You know, you can't come into somebody's wedding and bring them down.
No, that's it.
Yeah,
we have to show up.
We just have to park our shit for a few hours, and you know, and of the exceptional circumstances.
But we're good at that together. Like, we're friends, you know, and me, you, and Curtis, we're tight, and we look after each other. You know, and that's the main thing.
Funny, that was a big thing for me because Brendan, the first singer, who we started the band together, he left just because he stopped singing. he changed careers.
But he did it a long time as well.
Oh no, he did a long time, and just he's very much into his nutrition, and he changed career into that. So obviously, it's very difficult when you've done it with one person for so long to make that change. And I wasn't sure should I keep this going or not. I thought no, I think I should, and but I had very particular things in my head that I was looking for in a new singer, and first and foremost, believe it or not, wasn't the singing ability, it was the person.
Yeah.
Never say the looks.
We need the right
I
look.
definitely didn't look out there like.
Does he bring buns to practice?
Yeah,
Yes. You can come
buns
on.
as well. But no, seriously,
Nice
but it
buns.
was the person, because I think what I just said there, the weddings are about that couple, and I could not have somebody in the band that wouldn't respect the wedding, wouldn't be nice to the couple or the guests.
I personally think
I
there's a
couldn't
lot there.
I personally couldn't deal with that. I would lose my shit, and I wouldn't deal with it for the sake of the wedding either. I just so, as you mentioned, one of you mentioned earlier about egos. The video games tell us there's so many egotistical people in our line of work, and he replied to my advert and sent me a very lovely reply, because I alluded to it briefly in the advert. I can't remember how I put it. You might remember what I said. I can't remember.
No assholes. Pretty much was it.
something like that.
That was it.
Yeah.
Singer wanted no assholes. BM me. That was it.
But,
Job done.
So
Short and sweet.
he sent me a lovely message, and then I rang him, had a wee chat with him, and it really
We chat.
a long
Flipping
chat.
like Boxing Day. It was 3 hours later.
Yeah. So we had a good chat, and I got a real good vibe. And I actually said to Sam at the time, because I had other guys to listen to, but I said to Sam, I had no idea if he could sing. He said, if he can actually sing,
It'd be alright.
all right. sing
2
it
years
all.
later, he's still thinking that.
If we can sing it all,
We'll give him lessons. He'll be grand.
Rebecca Murphy and Moneymore, by the way, awesome singing lessons. If anybody wants to go up to Rebecca, a nice wee plug there, Rebecca.
Yeah, go back. But no, that's generally what I said to her. I said, look, if this guy can sing, I think, because that was one of my worries, that you spend a lot of time together and you're in that confined space, and we both do the job, and that was my biggest worry, getting somebody that I would actually get
Trust,
on with
I
well,
suppose,
and
as
trust.
well, yeah.
Be
It's a risk,
reliable.
as well. You were comfortable for that many years with
Yeah.
someone that was there, that was doing the job, and
And
then
Brent and me are still
like a new
best friends,
relationship, isn't it?
And I sort of, I think I'd probably said that to you at the start, like I want us to become friends, not just work partners,
Yeah.
And so my instincts were right, and he came.
Yous are still friends?
Came to the house, yeah, sure. But he came to the house and he did his audition, and the only thing that I was wondering about,
Go. I don't know if I know this bit, do I?
maybe not. So I had all the sound system set up in the house at the basement.
In your basement,
Yeah, and I think Neil was shocked. He says he didn't expect, because what we bring is, I deliberately don't have a full live band for lots of reasons. There's lots of good reasons to have it, but there's lots of reasons not to have it. So I can go into that later if you want, but I have the setup of a full live band and the sound of a full live band, because I'm very, very fussy about it. So he was like, holy shit, he didn't expect all this.
You've like a £40,000 worth of sound equipment.
Yeah.
What?
Sound lights on.
Where do you live again now?
it's a basement.
Yeah.
Did you see how much we charge for weddings? Gotta pay for that habit somehow.
Yeah,
that is
that's
a
it.
habit, yeah.
Well, a lot of punters forget that paying for the hire of the equipment
Oh,
as much as
100%.
anything. They think,
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
how well them boys get paid. They
But the
don't
last
understand.
wedding we played, a DJ guy came over to us, and he was a punter, and he came over and said, what are you guys using for your setup? Because that is the best sound I've ever heard. Didn't he?
It's very expensive stuff, and
Very heavy.
Like we were talking about food earlier, you get very fussy. So because I sold it for so long and sold a lot of high end stuff, I
I'll say about your sound.
gradually get very fussy, But anyway, so we had our audition, we did a few songs, and it sounded great. And the only thing I remember saying to Sam after it, but maybe I haven't told you this,
No, I don't think you have.
because Sam and me will be together now 5 years now in May, and she's my person, my best friend, and we have all our wee chats, and so you're like sort of the sub,
Sidecar.
I'm BB King.
BB King. But
I'm okay
so I
with
chatted to her, and I said, the only thing I'm not sure about, he dances a lot. because I think people maybe think
Is that what you actually said?
I think people that went think he just maybe
On
does
something.
that for a show.
Yeah.
That's what he fucking does.
He does it.
Stand just me and him, nobody else. And I'm playing the guitar.
Flailing.
I'm looking. What?
Moving a lot.
Jude was like, "Can you sit and sing?" I'm like, I'm not sure I can.
I did ask that question.
Yeah, but that's what I was sort of saying to you earlier. He brings that enthusiasm. He loves it so much, and I love that. You know, and that feeds through to me as well as the crowd. I think, you know.
Very good.
And I think people can see that we are enjoying ourselves and we enjoy working together as well. You know, and it all brings sort of like a holistic thing. It brings that package.
I had another job interview that day, did you?
Did you?
Yes, and I sacked it.
There you go. But didn't you make it right?
Because I thought, no, I want to go up and I like the sound of that guy, you know.
Yeah.
And I had a job interview at 9 o'clock in Lisburn and an
Oh, you
audition.
did tell me that.
An
Yeah.
audition with you at 11:30
That's
in
right,
the
you
same
told me,
morning.
yeah.
And I sacked the job interview in Lisburn.
And then I rang him. I rang you what?
That was for a good opportunity as
3
well.
days later.
Fuck, I should have went.
He's like, oh shit.
Look how you ended up.
Is there a question about regret?
Look at all the places you've seen since.
Well, you've shown me things I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Right, what are you singing for
Yes,
us?
what are we singing?
Well, you doing that one?
So we met up last night and we're like, right, what are we going to do here? And
doing that?
so
We'll do
this is
that.
our first acoustic set ever.
We
Ever,
acoustic.
yeah. So, yeah, typical unorganised fashion.
Thank you.
We thought, we should prepare for this. And then he arrived at my house 10 o'clock last night. Because we're used to playing with backing music, obviously. Cause,
Yes.
And we're used to playing at 10 o'clock at night, so that was perfectly normal.
Yeah. So it's unusual, maybe more so for me than him, because you know I play around the backing music and
Yes.
I still play, but you know you have that sort of it nearly leads you. Mm-hmm. So if you forget something, I just listen to the backing.
And that'll help you.
Everybody forgets things. You know,
I just make up words.
We're very forgiving here. Don't worry.
that's
This is the good room sessions. We're good.
yeah, true.
We all good?
This is a good room. Yeah, I love this room.
Right, you ready?
You're in your own time, lads.
Hang on. There we go. I just have to remember the song.
Feel my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where that journey will end, but I know where to start. Tell me I'm too young to understand. Said I'm caught up in a dream. Life will pass me by if I don't open my eyes. Well, that's fine by me. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself. Didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. I tried carrying the weight of this world, but I only have two hands. hope I get the chance to travel this world, but I ain't got any plans. Wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game, it's made for everyone, and love is a prize. So wake me up when it's all over, and I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself now. Didn't know how I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, and I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself. Didn't know I was lost. Didn't know I was lost. I didn't know I was lost. Didn't know I was lost. Great, man. Well played. That was awesome.
Thank you. We thought we were just thinking, what do we fucking do here? And we just thought, oh, we'll just slow this down, you know, because I don't. When we're playing live, I don't play that, but cause there's acoustic guitar. I play different electric stuff over it, so it normally starts with. I don't even play that. And I had to think, shit, how does this song go?
Well, I was standing in strip. Well, that's different. That's a different episode. And I was in Tesco a couple of weeks ago, and Lucia, my friend in Tesco, was like, "Neil, I've never heard you sing," and I was like, "That's probably no bad thing." And she was like, "Go on, give me a song," you know. And the shop was closed and all, you know. And I thought, what one will I sing? And that was exactly the one. And I thought, I love singing that song when we're out, because
it's got that. But it suits you, you know.
Thank
for
you.
the non-musicians, this is actually slightly lower than we do it live, because you don't want to belt just as much, so it's a slightly lower key.
Yeah.
Really,
She
I
is
thought,
a
well,
belter.
you guys thought, to me it sounded brilliant. It really suited him, you know.
Thank you. Thanks. You played it really well too, Rod. Never give a compliment right after compliment, because you're only just saying that because I said nothing to you, but I ain't doing crack here, boy. No.
It's great. I feel like we're just getting musicians on just to like have our own wee concert.
We do.
here.
We do. I was messaging Jude and Fergal the other night, because we're so busy with our full-time jobs, and we get like musicians on. We've got so many musicians on now, and it's class. I'm just like dying to get back to those episodes and do something with them, if you know what I mean. And
In what ways?
so like we have so many musicians on. We've maybe 4, and now you guys 5, and we've never cut all the songs up and put them on YouTube separately.
Oh yes.
You know, like in the wee music
yes.
videos.
Aye.
And we haven't done
Love
that yet.
this.
And then there's a load of episodes that, you know, maybe they sang 3 songs or 2 songs, or maybe only one of them went up on social media. We're so busy.
Yeah.
So we feel like we're sitting on all this like
Gold.
amazing content. I honestly do think that. Like we've done nearly 70 episodes, and I would say about 55 to 60 of them are nearly 3 hours long each.
Jesus.
And we only have maybe 2 or 3 social posts from each of them episodes. Can you imagine the gold that's in all them? All the like nice life lessons and
Yeah.
life issues that people have had, and they've came through it and everything. It's absolutely crazy, the stuff that
But
we
you
recorded.
had said that, Jeff. Like you said that you guys were hoping that this was going to become like a, archive
Well, yeah.
That's what we want.
for memories, and I love that.
That's what's
I love
becoming.
that vibe because it's. But not only that, it's tapping into people's resources and going. There's Rod. He's owns his own business, and been through the trauma of COVID, and
Well, we
really
all have. Yeah.
but for like somebody who's got their own business who relies on being
aye.
out and
Events, aye, right
events,
enough.
right? So your business got just
Yeah. No, entertainment and hospitality get
Crushed.
crushed
Oh,
for
completely
that's
crushed.
it, and how you
But we thought we were bad.
Some of them are still recovering.
Well, it took
Hospitality.
me.
Hospitality
I'm
still
probably
coming.
only getting back on my feet now. I've never had mental health problems until this, and I had such a hard time, and that's why the band profile online just disappeared.
Yeah.
I just wasn't in a place.
You'd your livelihood taken away. Like, you'd literally
I didn't
everything
work
taken
for,
away.
for 2 years,
Nuts.
and then in between that I had an accident, fell downstairs, and I had to get my tenton sewed back on, so I had to get my leg cut open and the surgery, and then I was off my feet for months, and it just all chipped away at my head, and then my mum was very ill a few times, and other things, and it just I nearly wasn't here.
Life chips away at you, like, doesn't it? It's nuts. The amount of people we've chatted
But
to.
this is our year.
Yep. Oh,
We both had
100%.
a hard year last year in different ways, and so
that's a semisonic song. This will be my year.
there you go.
We're I was looking up at your content and stuff. You guys seem to be getting busy and just enjoying the gigs and just really
Look, we are, yeah, and like I've
showing
been
off a bit.
doing the work. This last 6 months, probably the behind the scenes work that needs done, but it takes time for that to filter through to get as busy as we used to be. And we don't want to be that busy again, but we want to be busier than we are.
Yeah.
And this year's definitely shaping up, and next year's looking very good at this stage. But it just takes time to get back on track. You know, and
100%.
More Daniel O'Donnell songs in the set list for next year. Please. Yes, way up in the north, an old town round. There's a pretty little guy. Jude, me and you. I think we need we'll be the Juice.
The Juice,
We could be Juice. People would never know.
the Juice tribute band.
Jude's.
A Daniel
The
O'Donnell
Judes.
tribute band.
The Jude.
Yeah.
It's never been done before. The Judes. There we go.
There's maybe a reason why that hasn't been done before.
Think of a few. I was going to actually go into another wee bit. We usually talk about your origin stories. We're past our normal time,
Aye,
here,
sorry.
but it'll be grand. It'll be grand. There's plenty of chat. I was going to go through like a bit of a quick origin story for both of you. A wee bit about where did you grow up, what school did you go to, just even a wee bit about that. Neil, we'll start with yourself. Like where were you from originally? Are you Magherafelt based or
A bit of a mongrel, really.
Right.
In that sense. Grew up in Magherafelt, Ash Grove Park. Yep. Lived there with mum until I was about 8, and then moved to Tobermore. Mum moved in with dad when I was about 8 or 9. Moved to Tobermore and went to Magherafelt Primary School. Continued to go to Magherafelt Primary School even though we moved to Tobermore. And really happy times in Ashgrove. Really just good memories, good people, good friends. In fact, still see, like, my best friend was Emma growing up in Ashgrove, and I still see Emma, and she's just such a good person. And that's lovely, you think, here's your best friend from when you're like 1 or 2 years of age.
it's mental to have that stuff.
And I'm not 1 or 2, and you're like, that's amazing just to have that longevity and those friendships. That's and good. Then, I moved to more and didn't really know anybody, but again, just good people. And
School-wise?
Magherafelt Nursery,
And then
Magherafelt Primary, the old one, and then the Rainy.
Rainy?
Yeah. So good times.
were you a rugby boy?
Clearly, yeah.
That wasn't a joke. That was a
That was
question.
total joke. I was what do you call it? A tactical liability in the rugby pitch,
Oh, okay.
because you used to look in the rugby
Can
pitch
imagine you
and
run
say,
away from the ball.
Well, if you looked where Neil was in the pitch, the ball would be the polar opposite
Yeah.
of where
What
I
do you call
was.
that
in
Adam Sandler movie?
The water boy?
Water boy. I pretty much could have been
So yeah, no.
Tactical liability, is that a thing? Is that like a rugby term?
No,
That was a Neil term.
That's just
I don't
very
know.
smart.
That's
It
just
sounds
general
smart. Sound like you knew what you were talking about there.
But there was young lad. Like I remember being 11, a big Stephen Suffer, and he would be out like lifting cows before he came into school. And he was like 18 stone muscle. And then he'd come running at you in the rugby pitch in a November, cold, wet November morning. And I would literally just move out of the way and let him run past and score. And Mr. was
Smart
Ansley.
decision, like.
Mr. Ansley was like, why are you not? You should be tackling him. And I was like, no, I should not be tackling him.
I'm good.
But at that
Okay
age,
with
it's so
this.
funny because like children hit puberty at different ages. So there's like wee runts that are about it.
Yeah.
I was one of them too. Don't worry about it.
I still am.
I see him. And then there's these giants of boys that are like, "Hi, how's it going? I'm Stephen."
Stephen, I could be your dad.
And they're already shaving already. And everything.
Grey hairy chest.
And you're like, we're in P5, Stephen, what's this all
What
about? But they were bigger boys now, all that gym gear and stuff.
Yeah.
all the gear they're on, all right. What subjects were you good at? Any flair for anything back
I
then?
loved home economics.
Yeah.
Loved cooking. Probably
Yeah.
why I ended up eventually. And that was always a dream. I remember being more and saying to my dad, Dad, I'd love to open up a chip shop, and food. And was always interested in food. Home economics, business studies, loved all that kind of stuff. So there you go.
Would you move on from after the running?
Went to Jordanstown. For a couple.
What
couple
would you
years,
do?
Did business.
Did you?
Not a lot is the answer really. What did you do? Did business, but then discovered youth work actually during my time at uni, and I'd always thought becoming a teacher, but I was always a bit like a bit too like
Structured.
structured, right?
rigid,
And also, what if you don't like the kid? You're stuck with them for a whole year,
Yeah.
and they don't like you, and it's been 2 years for us now, Rod, hasn't it? So yeah, ended up doing youth work and worked in a prison for 3 years.
Was it Scotland? Was it?
This was over here in Belfast.
Oh,
Hyde Bank
Belfast.
Young Offenders prison. I remember the first kid I worked with in the prison. I sat down just as far as you guys are away from me, and like you never felt intimidated, right? I never felt like except, well, once, but that's a different story. But the first kid I worked with, he was in at the age of 14. His dad was at the time the head of the Real IRA.
Jesus.
And we're talking 2001 here, so like things in Northern Ireland, the island, were pretty tense. And Liam, and like I was never that interested why they were in. Our job was to just try and get them a bit. Aye, that's it. And the unique thing about our program was after release, we worked with them in the community for up to 6 months post release. That was a really unique part about our program. And yeah, so Liam, he was in because he put a bomb in Belfast city centre.
Right, as you do.
And I'm sitting there going, I felt like, what's that film, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz? I felt like, just like looking down and say, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. I thought,
His dad did this, or he did this?
He did this.
Right.
His dad basically made him do it, right?
Okay.
But, yeah, right? And so I just remember, like, man, I am the worst thing anybody ever did when I was growing up was not go to church on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But Fergal, you see that boy there, JF boy? He
Heathen.
never went to church on a Sunday, boy.
Heathen.
Oh, heathen! The bigger the Bible, the bigger the sinner, boy.
Yeah.
And all that kind of crack. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is like, what am I doing here? I really struggled with that job for about 9-10 months, but it was like a bit of a stubborn kind of guy, So I was like, no, I'm determined to make this work. And game changing for me personally. I learned a lot about myself. I learned 10 different ways to break into my Corsa. That was good. And a lot of joyriders in the prison. So very educational, yes.
Yeah.
And then was 23, young, free and single. And the girls that I was dating around here, most of my mates had already been with, so I thought time to go away and do something else, because it's getting a bit too cozy. And so went to Edinburgh and was there for 10 years doing youth work also, yeah.
Class.
Good
Very
times. Good times.
Well, Edinburgh, 10 years of similar youth work, or what kind of
Yeah,
youth work
running a
was it?
life skills program there
Right,
for
okay.
16 to 19-year-olds, yeah, trying to get kids who'd left school, little to no education, getting them into jobs, training, volunteering,
Brilliant.
College, all that kind of stuff.
Sounds,
So, yeah, loved it.
sounds rewarding.
Do you know what? It was amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. Great opportunity. And worked out in a summer camp in America, outside Boston, in 2000. And the first song I heard when I got in the Jeep actually to go to the camp was Matchbox 20, who were my favourite band. And just remember them coming on the radio, and I was like, man, I'm going to have the best summer here. And I did.
What song was it?
Bent by Matchbox 20.
I can't think of it.
And
Give us a few bars there.
oh my goodness, what is it? Can't you help me? I'm bent. I'm so scared if I never get put back together.
Know it now, yeah.
Yeah, you know that
Very
one.
good, yeah.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. No, they're very good.
No.
No, you're good too. No, you're good too. You're good too. You're good too.
Sometimes I sing a song and people are like, I don't recognize that song.
No, I got it.
And yeah, and that was my background. And then I did my ACL in playing football, and sorry. No, it's all good. Thank you. Did my ACL in and thought, right, I moved over to Edinburgh to do stuff, to be out and get involved with things. What can I do here? And I saw a wee advert in Gumtree, and said singer wanted for a band, and I went along and auditioned, and they said, have you ever been in a band before? And I said, yes, many years I've been in a band. I didn't tell them it was a Duke of York accordion band in Tobermore, and I was playing the drums. I auditioned for the singer. But you know, you have to be creative with the truth. Exactly. And so yeah, great times in Edinburgh, 10 years there, brilliant. And then moved back home 2013. Couldn't get a job in a coffee shop, loved coffee, and I said, well, feck, you know, I'm going to open up my own. So we did in 2013 in Main Street, Maghera, and no regrets. And
you met Abby over in Edinburgh?
Met Abby actually doing a gig one night, and a wee called Bert's Bar in Stockbridge, and she walked in, and I thought, hello. And we used to give out like wee tambourines and maracas and stuff to the crowd, you know, to get them involved. And I went over and I was like, oh, would you like to shake my maraca?
Wow. Yeah. And that worked.
Wow. If our parents were watching this, no, she didn't shake my maraca. But, between you and me, oh yeah, baby. And the less said about the tambourines, the better. But yeah, good times. And yeah, brilliant. We were singing, remember the song actually, Foo Fighters Learn to Fly was the song we were singing at the time when she walked in. So very blessed and with that, and how music has opened up that part of my life for me as well. So yeah, brilliant. And then we moved back. Well, I moved back home. Abby couldn't get a job here. She's a teacher. And I moved back home and opened up the auction room, and Abby moved over a year later and got a job here. And yeah, brilliant times at the auction room. So blessed with that. With really good people. Everybody,
I think, that I know and chat to about the auction room have such good memories of it. You know, in that they have there's a core memory they have of it. I don't think there was anything like that. And then you opened it, and then everybody has like a wee memory. Like me and Fergal have our first met in it ever. And I have a pile of wee like memories from first walking into it, and
you held wee gigs in it as well. I remember those.
Wee gigs in it as well.
Live music sessions,
all the time,
and you know, and people like James Bradley and James Devlin and Frankie McEldowney, all those guys come down, and you know, they really supported what we were doing and bought into it.
Yeah,
and yeah, like honestly, I've made some really good friends and met some really good people over the years. And I think my favourite story of the auction room, the coffee shop down the years, was one night I was cleaning up in the back in the kids' play area, and there was this man sitting at a table, just a wee table like this, looking very sort of agitated and anxious, you know, and he was in for a good maybe 10-15 minutes just by, I went over, you know, do you want anything to eat or anything to drink, or no, I'm just waiting, you know, but very nervous. And then next thing, this young girl comes in and kind of was like looking a bit lost, and a few minutes later I looked over and they were both sitting at the same table. And you're always interested, you know, the dynamic of people. Why are they meeting?
Yeah,
you know?
how did they meet?
And I actually turned out one of the guys I was working with that night knew the young girl, and it turned out that was the first time. Now I say young girl, she was maybe 18 or 19, and it was the first time she'd met her daddy.
Oh, class!
I was just like I was in tears that night, honestly, because I was like, wow, they have chosen to do that in a space that you know that I've created, and you're just like, that's so powerful. Like I'm almost tearing up now thinking about it, but you're just like, that's awesome.
And a lot of people are going to have those wee memories, like of the auction room as well. Like even though me and Fergal, it was one of our first meetings. That's where I started the whole business.
Remember.
That's where
I used to come in after work and just sit down at the wee bench and order whatever, and just sit there for maybe a couple of hours the odd evening, and that was me literally like, I need to do something with my life here. And then the auction room was just a class spot for it. Like it was just, it was like an inspiring wee space in a sense. I felt anyway. There was nowhere else like it in the area, and it was like a wee creative hub in a sense, because you could just sit there and there was just a vibe about it that you got that. It just gave you that wee bit of enthusiasm. I don't know. That's what I felt anyway. That's what I felt when I was there.
Well, that's very kind. And the reason why it's called the auction room is we know it actually my dad had passed at that time, and but I had lovely memories of going into Maghera and Davy Dunlop and Gilbert Crawford used to run an old auction down below Crawford's shop. And you used to go in a Wednesday evening. It was all the old nonsense of the day, but it was always packed and people were buying stuff at the auction. I thought, it's a nice wee nod to,
it's nice
to that
a bit of history and
we sold stuff as well. And like if people
that's
wanted
right,
to come
you
in
did,
and buy the fireplace,
That's right,
actually somebody did buy the fireplace.
Take out a fireplace.
They're like, okay, sure, and we sold stuff on behalf of people, artists, musicians, wherever. And I remember you guys putting in lovely pictures of
we had the wee
swans.
photos with the
swans
and the ducks and I don't know.
That's
what
right.
happens. Very good, very good.
Yeah, well, I've obviously never been in, but hearing him talking about it, I just know there's a lot of attention to detail.
Oh yeah.
And obviously the surrounds, but also the food and the coffee, and just there's so many people open these places, and it's just a quick buck, and just whatever.
Didn't make that.
Whatever you get. Aye, but it's all about.
bucks, but oh well.
Made it back.
Bit of buck.
Yeah. Aye, but there's so many places. It's all about the bottom line, and they
100%.
don't really give a shit what they're, what produce they're using, and stuff like that. There, where he really was invested, but maybe at your own downfall, possibly, because people want to pay the cheap prices.
Yeah.
They want the good food, but they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, you're sacrificing your soul a wee bit.
You really are.
In a
because
business,
it's
whenever you're thinking like that.
the time it takes, as well as the cost of
it's hard
the better quality produce.
It's hard to get away from that. Like
it's hard to turn that into the profit that obviously the cheap ready-made stuff gives you.
Yeah. What about yourself, Rod? What's your origin story? Where are we from?
Well, that's bloody interesting, isn't it? Bounced about a wee bit when I was a kid. When I was till I was maybe 3-4, lived just outside Cookstown.
Cookstown?
In a wee area called Tullywigan. And then we moved to Portadown, or Craigavon actually, for I think a year or so. I know I was in P1. Can't remember if I finished P1, but I definitely remember I have wee memories of being there, and then came back to Cookstown for another year. And then moved outside Moneymore, between Moneymore and Drummond, for a couple of years. Went to Moneymore Primary then, and then moved into Moneymore, into Roxbury Park, and stayed there until I was probably 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm. School-wise back then, primary school, secondary school, where were you at?
Yeah, well, no idea what the school was in Craigavon. No idea what school I went to in Cookstown. It probably was Holy Trinity. And is it St. Patrick's? I can't remember the primary school on the Chapel Hill in Moneymore.
Right, yeah.
Went there. And then went to the Rinny as well.
Right.
No, it actually wasn't my choice. I didn't want to go to the bloody Rinny.
Mm-hmm. Still didn't want to go there.
Yeah. My best friend, we both got A's. And he was going to the convent, St. Mary's, and I wanted to go where he was going, but I didn't get a say. I got sent to the Rinny. And,
why was the push to the Rinny? Was it a rugby? Was it a family tradition? Or?
No, none of that. My parents' family's a mixed marriage. I think reading between the lines, and I wouldn't ask Mum to verify this. I don't see my dad. I haven't seen him in a long time, but simply speaking, he wasn't a very nice person. But I think I'd been sent to the Catholic primary school, and I think this was his way of, right, well, hang on, I need my way now. And there really been a compromise because it was mixed, thankfully.
Bit of both, yeah.
So I was sent to the Rainy, but it was a really great friends and great memories of primary school. I really didn't like the Rainy for lots of reasons, but as you know, back then it's a very confusing time over here. For anybody, never mind when you're in a mixed marriage and then you're there's this push pull with your mum and dad over what are you,
Yeah.
So like, we didn't go to chapel or anything, you know. Wasn't allowed to. So you go to primary school and everybody else is going to mass and all this, and
You're not.
you're not.
You're out of the loop a wee bit.
So then in the Rinny, and then the start of the Rinny, and bear in mind you're very young. You don't want to stand out. So it came up for the first day or two. The Rinny is 2 different RE classes. Well, probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But there's a Protestant RE and a Catholic RE.
What?
I didn't know.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I was just joking.
Actually,
I didn't know. A few friends that said they
ER
went to,
and RE,
They
yeah,
went to different
Yeah.
emergency room. They went to do. They went.
quick,
they
he's
do-
converting. Ah!
There was 2 different classes.
Well,
in
my
it.
issue was I was
Really?
put in the
Which one did I go to?
I was put in the Protestant RE class. And I didn't know anything about it,
The religion,
Protestant.
because you went to Catholic.
but
primary
I
school.
wouldn't say.
You just
So I didn't know what to do. You're a child
just sitting there.
out of 11, and so I spent 5 years living a lie in the Rinny. So
Living a lie.
Sitting watching the Rangers match. At lunchtime.
and I'm sure
I'm trying to get it.
there was people that I got good friends with that would have known, but there's probably a lot of people, if there's anybody that knows me watching this from the Rinny days, probably still think I went to Protestant church. They obviously never went to any, but it was made a confusing time in your life even more confusing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And it made that sort of horrible. But
Subject wise, what were you like? Did you have good subjects, bad subjects?
yeah, I'm always was lucky enough, I suppose, that the academic stuff came pretty easy.
Yeah.
Problem was I didn't do any work,
Yeah.
and that was probably a bit of rebelling because I was so unhappy. I really was very unhappy at that time. And strangely enough, I think the only time I ever came first at anything was at the first year exams. I came first in art, and I am artistic, and my dad wouldn't let me continue it the next year. You had to do either art, German, or Spanish. I wanted to do art. No, do Spanish or German. Which is so stupid when you have a child that has an aptitude.
Ability.
And you know that, Fergal, you've been a graphic designer. I try to be a graphic designer, but I don't have the artistic talent. I have the ideas and I try and get them
Well,
on the
that's the
screen.
important parts of the ideas.
And
First
Easy.
in art in first year would testify differently to the
Exactly.
talent.
no, but that's to say, there's maybe what has been a natural aptitude for it there.
Exactly.
But I never got.
You never had the
Never got the
time
chance
to
to
I
develop
never
it.
got to nourish it or learn
Yes.
how to actually do it, because I can't fucking draw to save myself. But I do like being creative and artistic, hence obviously the music as well. And so sort of just cruised along and sort of got by. Didn't excel, didn't do overly bad. Just sort of always studied the night before and got away with it. And I don't think I would have excelled in anything. I just sort of got by, and then I didn't like it. I was very unhappy, so I went to tech. I did business and finance, and loved it. Loved the whole vibe.
Did you have Mr. Kelly?
Yeah, he was one of the best actually.
Oh, he was such a nice
brilliant,
guy, right?
Brilliant guy, yeah. And
What was the big tall guy called? He was a big tall guy that taught. Because I did GMPQ.
skinny guy. I know who you're on about.
Remember the name?
Can't remember his name, but I loved
Albert
that.
Kelly was such a lovely
I
man.
loved it. It was a very different vibe to the Rinny. The teachers sort of talk to you with a wee bit of respect, and nearly encouraged you to work better because of that. So I did again. I still was the night before sort of vibe. Didn't push myself. Was good. Had started playing guitar. Was really, really, really into music, and wanted to do something with music, but there was no Google. Very poor careers advice. So when it came to the end of that, I wanted to go and do something with music in uni or something, but I didn't know what. And the careers teacher said, "No, there's nothing to do."
It's no such thing as music.
So obviously
No, but literally back then, my memory of that was you could become a doctor, a lawyer, a solicitor, or well, I don't even know if it was nurse or a teacher because they were teachers and they had to say it. But
So literally,
limited, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do, and I did middling. I got merit distinctions and merits, so I got enough to get into uni. So I just did business and finance in Georgetown, and then got the shock of my life because then you couldn't cruise by. you had to work.
Yeah.
So it ended up I enjoyed my student grant that we got in those days, and drank a lot. Didn't go to class much and left it before the end of the year because I had no idea. And I'm not condoning that. That's just how it was because I had no interest.
Yeah.
Where I could have went to uni and did music production. I could have did technology. There's so many things I could have done that I really would have been passionate about. So I left and then spent the summer really immersed in guitar playing, and then I thought, right, I need to get a job. And I wanted to get a job in some relation to music and looked lots of things, recording studios and this, that and the other. And there's, which I mentioned earlier, there was a local business, Ray Sound, who sold lots of really expensive instruments and sound equipment. Pestered them for 6 months, and they eventually gave me a job. Not the sort of, there used to be like a YTP sort of scheme. Basically, they didn't really pay you.
Yeah,
the government give you some
Subsidy.
money, and you basically work for free. But that's what I did to get in.
Get your foot in the door.
Yeah, and then
Your foot in the
proved my
door.
worth and stayed there for like probably 12 years. Worked my way up to manager, and I enjoyed most of that, to be honest. And I suppose the area I did then start to excel in was computers, because I took an interest in computers because their advertising was so poor, and that, as you say, Fergal, that creativeness comes out somewhere. And I just said to Sean, who's one of the owners, I said, because he just sort of wrote stuff, faxed it over, and it was shit. I said, do you want me to have a wee go at that? And I wrote stuff out and faxed it over, and it was still shit. But then you're trying to ring these magazines in England, the design team, and say, well, this is sort of what I want. And obviously it's impossible for them to know.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to buy a computer and try and learn how to do a bit of this. And
Class.
I'm not at your level, Fergal. Like I say, I've always tinkered at it. But I did the advertising then and marketing for them. And that's for sort of where I started. And then it sort of pulled me away from the sales, and then you were trying to juggle too many things. And then because I was a tech head then into computers, I was always fixing the accounts, and it's just, you never got time to do your actual job. But it's sort of like any job, you feel you get to the point you feel underappreciated, underpaid, etc. And I went back and I thought, I'm going to actually get some formal qualifications for this computer crack, because I applied for a few jobs, but I was really switched on because I was really immersed in it. I really enjoyed it and studied a lot just at home, and but nothing to say that. So the people that I spoke to said, look, you need to get some credentials here, come back to us. And that was in the IT boom when the wages were really high. And so I went and did like a HNC from Jordanstown in computers, whatever it was called, for 2 years. Came first in the class. Worked my ass off.
And then we're told, no, you have to go and do Spanish or German instead.
Yeah. So, but really worked hard, because you're doing a full-time job. Kids were young. I have 4 kids, by the way, at that stage 3. And then there was that busy crash. The arse fell out of it and the wages dropped. I went looking at jobs, and at best you were maybe getting 100 quid a week more, but you were driving 10 to 12 hours a week, and take that and the fuel.
Out of it.
I was doing nothing, earning no extra. And over the years in Raysound, people had said to me, because I'd stopped playing guitar, strangely enough, I think I'd heard so many great players in there. I used to think I could play, and then all these amazing guys were coming in. I thought, well, what's the point? And I sort of stopped. And but guys had offered me, asked me to join their bands here and there, and I'd always declined. So I thought, right, maybe that's how I get some extra money. And a guy who had asked me, coincidentally, when I was thinking about it, came in and asked again, joined his band. I won't name the band, but I was there for 6 months, and I was the only guy playing. Everybody else was miming. And this happens a lot.
Really?
Yes. Musicians will know this. Any musician will know this. If they're somewhere, and a band's doing that. Hunters generally won't.
It's like Top of the Pops.
Yeah. So I was the only guy. Singer was singing. No, but the drummer and the keyboard player were miming. And the choice of gigs were dodgy enough, and there was very little money in it. And I thought, I think I'm going to start something myself. And in between all that stuff, I used to teach guitar and taught quite a lot of people guitar, and I still knew a lot of them who would come in to race around buying equipment and whatnot. So one of my former students, Brendan, came in, who had been in a wee band, and he's looking to sell equipment because it disbanded. And I just
Disbanded?
yeah, and I said, well, look, I'm thinking of starting a band. What do you think? So we went and had a wee practice. I didn't even know, a bit like Neil, didn't know if he could sing or not. I'd never heard him sing, and we got on great. And so we decided, right, we'll do that. I sort of left my notice for the other band. We started Juice after a wee bit of brainstorming about a name, and that was Brenton's idea. We picked 5 names each, and then just
It's like having a baby.
yeah. Well, like, what do you call it? So we had this wee discussion. What are we going to call it?
We'll call it this. If it's a girl,
And we were back. We said, right, we'll pick 5 names each, and then we'll see.
Do you
And
remember
then-
any of them?
I actually don't. I just know mine were shit. Because I didn't. Once I seen that on his list, I thought I didn't even look at the rest. I said,
really?
there you go, Brenton.
That's the one.
Just because the only brief I give Brenton, I said I wanted something, because at this stage there's no thought of weddings. It's just pub gigs for just sort of extra money.
Yeah.
And I said I just want something that doesn't say anything, doesn't sound like a country
Pigeonhole.
band or a rock
Doesn't
band or a
pigeonhole
pop
you.
band. You know, I
Yes,
just so that was my only brief, and I just seen that. I really love that, and it's short and snappy, and so we started that. And unfortunately for Brenton, my only sort of ultimatum was that because of my job, I'd seen so many people waste so much money buying equipment and trading up and buying more equipment, trading up again, and just wasting thousands of pounds. And I said, look, I want to start with the right stuff, so we'll instantly sound better, because people just hear what they hear. Mm-hmm. So we worked for the first year for nothing. We just took a loan and bought real high-end equipment. But because of that, I think, anyway, I attribute it to that, because we came in instantly with a big sound, we got so much work. And we had even from the get-go, we had the approach of trying to suit the crowd as well. Even at the very start, there was no set list. You know, we always had that sort of mentality. Look, we'll try our best to see who's there, and
It's like an ethos, isn't it? Like,
oh no, it really is now, yeah. And so we got busy really, really quickly. And 2 years later, I left Raysound to do that full time, and eventually doubled my salary.
was it just
well done.
normal venue gigs, or was it wedding based at that time?
No, when I left, that was the decision why I left Raysound. Well, there was another part of a decision. We'd written some music as well, which goes back to the steak story earlier, and we had wrote some songs and recorded a demo, and just through various means, it happened to get to various record companies in London, and we were invited over to do a showcase in Leicester Square.
Very cool.
In a place called Sound. So there was 2 other guys. This wasn't Juice now. This was just a wee sort of rock project, you know, original rock music. Not overly heavy rock, in fairness, but sort of commercial rock. And it was brilliant. It was such an experience. And there's like 700-800 people, and all these record companies and journalists and publishing companies and lawyers. And it's like 3 or 4 bands, and we ended up band of the night. And
Class.
it was so weird. It was like surreal. People looking autographs, and everybody was over to us then and took us to this club, and all the talk. We thought we were the next thing.
They were like celebs and all there, though. I remember you saying like these people.
No, that was the next one. There was Slabs.
Oh,
in
the next one, part
yeah,
2.
we were over. We were over 4 times, but after that first time, because of the talk, I said we need to give this a proper effort. So we decided together we'd give it 3 months. That's our work for 3 months, and that was all a reason of leaving Raysound, because I asked for a career break and they wouldn't give it to me. So I just said, well, look, if that doesn't work, Juice is going so well, I think I can make it busier.
Yeah.
And long story short, because it'll take too long to tell the ins and outs, we went over 4 times. There's all the talk but no money, and we were offered, the best thing we offered was a support slot for a major act, but it was 50 quid each per night.
You had to pay?
No,
we
they were
could pay.
Yeah, maybe.
But bear in mind, I had a mortgage of 3 kids.
For 50 quid.
You know, if you had no family, maybe
You
you
do
could have
that.
moved over and you don't know what would happen. But I just think I'm content because we gave it our best shot. I just don't think the songs are good enough. And but it was a real fun
class,
experience.
though.
But so I came back then, and I had sort of seen this wee wedding opportunity, because nobody then was calling themselves a wedding band. Believe it or not, everybody was too cool. Everybody did, you know.
They did weddings, but they didn't call themselves wedding bands.
No, you know, because any promotional material for any band, parties, formals, dinner dances, weddings, funerals, whatever, you know,
They did everything.
Nobody specialised in weddings. And I just seen this wee opening. There was one local guy who was pushing Justy in the Boogeymen, who started a couple of years before us. And Justy was pushing into the weddings and doing great. Still not calling himself a wedding band, in fairness. But I just seen him and I thought, he's making that work. And I thought, well, I can do that a wee bit differently and sort of go at it, putting the promotional head on and whatnot. And didn't think it would have got so busy, you know. But I thought I'll try it. And we went from 2 weddings till 100 weddings a year in 5 years. 4 years maybe. And it was just mental for about 10 years. It never... it was so busy, and we were so popular. We won awards and stuff, and then that pumped it up. And as a consequence, you get a lot of wrong bookings because people just book you because you have an award and don't actually look. Just want to say our band won an award, and don't actually look to see if you're the right sort of fit. But by and large, mainly really good weddings. Seen so many lovely places, met so many people. So yeah. And then eventually, like all things tail off a bit, and then obviously came to fucking COVID. And then it was very rough on both of us. And then we go back for that 2022, and then Brendan had to make this decision. He was thinking about it for a long time, and then just came to me and said, "Look, what do I do? You had a good job offer," and so. I obviously give him my blessing, you know, because that really was his passion, you know. And then your man here,
This guy showed up,
yeah, and we're going strong ever since.
and now you're sitting here with us now.
Good times.
Good times indeed.
So that's basically it. And as I say, I have 4 kids. I'm a granda now as well.
Oh, congratulations!
My grandson just turned 3 there.
Is your
Cool,
son
dude.
that helps you as well?
Yeah,
the odd
Curtis now comes out with us. I'd made that decision before Neil joined the band because
He saw the size of my arms. But he's not looking 40,000 pounds of equipment about, like, is he?
well, Brenton was never mind in his nutrition, is very much into his weightlifting and stuff. So he was Mr. Muscle. So
Yeah,
he was.
you need some muscle. Like.
And I just obviously the older you get, I sort of back issues and stuff, and I just thought an extra pair of hands. And Curtis has been brilliant actually. And then when Neil with Curtis there, we made the decision then, because when Brenton was in the band, we didn't have a third person, so Brenton controlled them, would have queued up the music and the lights and stuff. And but we made that decision. No, Curtis took care of all of that for us. So
Take a wee bit of pee off and you can relax
we
a bit
can
more.
just focus on the dance floor, and it's brilliant because
Very good.
we'll look at it, the floor, and during the song how it's going, and I'll just shout back to Curtis, and then he just waits for. I sort of raise my hand at the end of a song. Just sometimes I have to change guitar settings, because sometimes you just can't go straight in. There's a couple of wee things to do, and as soon as the hand goes up, bang, the next song starts, and it's great. It keeps us flowing, and he can dance about, and because obviously if he had to do that, it takes his focus away from that energy
I
that he
also
brings.
can't multitask.
Put the right people in the right places, like us.
It's working well, and Curtis is a big lad too, which helps. So he's definitely a great help for lifting the equipment, but also he's become. I think you'd agree, he's become such an asset on the night because
100%.
he really, he's really got so tuned into it, and he's great even at helping Neil there, because I don't need to talk to Neil about the songs, so I'm just
It's like Chinese whispers.
I'm watching everything. I'm watching the room because it's all there's so much going on that contributes to the night. So it's not even just a dance floor. I'm always looking around the room to see how people are talking. If there are people not doing this, but if they're maybe in their ears too much, maybe you're a bit loud, and we things to get there.
Yeah, we tweak some stuff.
So I can just shout to Curtis, and Curtis sorts Neil out, and even helps Neil with the time and stuff coming in at times, because when the crowd's loud, it's hard to hear the count ends, and then he's great at syncing the lights as well, and that brings the atmosphere. The lights really help work with the music, and so no, I think it wasn't intentional, to be honest. I was just looking somebody to lift equipment.
Yeah, worked out really well.
It's worked out. No, it's worked out great.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Fantastic. I was going to say we maybe take a break and then maybe a final song, if you don't mind, if you'd like one more.
Yeah.
So we'll take a wee break and we'll be back in a wee second, Jude, if that's all right. Yeah.
Haven't lost it, that's for sure.
Oh Jesus.
That's a wee song. Get that one going. Woo! Joyce Country Ceilidh Band. They're Saw Doctors. Hard to beat the Saw Doctors. How we're the Joyce Country Ceilidh Band.
We used to play that song in the band, and I hated it that much. I just stopped it.
I've noticed.
We do that, but I tell you why I hate why obviously could never tell punters this, but the reason I stopped that
This
song.
has been recorded here, Rod.
Yeah.
This is it, live. No, unedited. The whole thing's unedited.
The backing vocal is so cringeworthy. I had to sing all the stupid lines.
And you just hate it.
I just couldn't do it anymore. I just
depressed you.
You are such a team. Like, you're so opposite.
It works.
It works. It really does. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. I suggest all these songs. He goes, "No, fucking that. We're not playing it." That's pretty much how it goes.
We've got the moody rocker and then the upbeat.
Decision making, anyway.
Yeah.
He's the pop country fan. Yeah, I'm the blues rock fan.
Blues rock fan.
Blues rock.
That's perfect for a wedding band, isn't it? Though, really, you got
It
both.
covers the bases, because I always find from the fellas respect the more musical end of things. And the women want the cheesy.
They want the
dancey
love.
stuff.
They want all the love.
So he gets the
Neil
women.
can give him,
He gets the women. I
The
get the
women,
lads.
they get the lads. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Great partnership.
That's it.
Right, lads, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Really, really, really appreciate it. Tell me this, if someone books you over the next few months, over the next few years, what do you hope them feeling after you have performed for them for the night? What do you... How are they walking away? What's the guests thinking whenever they hear you guys?
Yeah, some of the testimony reviews, whatever you want to call it, we get. Some
They're actually real.
some amazing ones.
I know they're
honestly.
not all made up.
But some of the compliments we've had blow my mind, and I actually I should be able to remember some of them. But the nice ones are visible on the website, and there's lots more than that. But
One of them said recently, they said, "Oh, I would get divorced and married again just to have you as my wedding band." Which I was like, that's sort of
That's the best testimonial.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
no, honestly, amazing. Like we did a wedding for a couple of ladies last year, and you remember I got her up to play my guitar.
Yes.
And I don't want to
Teenage Kicks.
disclose, because she sent me a personal message, put up a lovely review for us, which is actually on the website. But the message she sent me after, privately, about what we did for her wedding day, or their wedding day, I was blushing when I read it, because like I can't comprehend how somebody can take that much from what we do.
Yeah.
But to say we made their day was, in her words, was just a complete understatement. And really, we strive for the memory and of the day, and we end something we didn't touch on earlier. Most people book us for the full night because we do the band disco package, and we've done that. I actually told you this last time we spoke. I started that crack, because people won't realise, but nobody did that before. And I met a guy in King's Hall doing a wedding fair, who now and again he was a one piece, and the odd time somebody would have said to him, "Can you maybe stay on? Our DJ hasn't turned up, and play a few songs." And it just gave me this brainwave. I could do that. So I started, and we got a lot of flack at the time from DJs especially, and other bands. Why are you doing that? You know, we're not. but now that's what everybody does.
Yeah.
But I look at it very differently, and part of that mindset is we end with the band.
Yeah.
So you'll have been to weddings, probably seeing bands doing disco packages, and then all the equipment comes down during the disco, and it's a very...
I could have been home 3 hours before I am.
Yeah.
But oh no, he says no.
Nothing comes down. Nothing comes down. We get paid to be there. Nothing comes down.
Ain't going down till the sun comes up.
And we play the last half hour. And part of that mindset is the interaction we get together, and the finish we give to their night, and the memory we give them at the very end. It never fizzles out. We always get everybody together, and we obviously get a few cheers and whatever, just a bit of banter and. Just give them that memory. We take the end of the night photo for them as well. We don't put them all up because not everybody wants their photo up.
Yeah.
Everybody gets their photo. And that memory. But I think the best compliment we get at times, it probably sounds weird, is we just say, we didn't really think about you all night. We just were having such a great night.
Yeah. That's
and
class too.
That's really it.
Yeah.
That they're just having a night and they're not thinking, oh, what's that band doing?
Yeah.
And I think that's strangely one of my favourite compliments.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, very well said.
So
absolutely
that's that. We both love that, and we both. I think we both. I know I'm speaking for you, but I think we both get so much out of it when we see the crowd enjoying it so much, and then you just get.
I come home and don't sleep for hours.
Lovely memory. Well, that's the thing. People don't. Understand. It really messes with our body clocks,
100%.
You have to come down from that.
Yeah.
But it's lovely, there's not many jobs that you go to that people are generally always happy.
Yeah.
You get the odd prick here and there, of course. Like
Yeah,
too
of
much
course.
drink or whatever. But
Drunk uncle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but by and large, people have a great time. We do our best to help them have a great time, and I stress that we can only help. Because there's an arrogance about in our line of work too. Oh, we're this and we're brilliant and we're whatever. We
from
are
the band's
not,
point of view.
We just try our best. That's it. If a crowd don't want to dance, nobody can make them dance.
Jägermeister maybe.
But yes. But I always believe most crowds will dance. You may take some crowds. It may take longer to figure some crowds out, but you just have to have the
Keep
will.
with it.
Well, you have to have the desire to do it first and foremost. If you turn up and don't care, well, that's how it's going to go. So we just want them having that memory and great night. Simple as that.
Class. Yeah. Thank you very much for both of you coming. I'm going to say thank you to our 4,500 listeners a month. Thanks for your patience in getting all these episodes out. A bit slower. We're getting two out a month, and we're trying our best at the moment. And there'll be plenty more brilliant guests, amazing guests like Neil and Rod in the coming weeks and months. And we hope you really enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for coming, lads. You have a good time.
Brilliant. Honest to God, I had such a great time. It's just a bit of crack.
It's like a wee night out.
I know. Honest to God, I really had a blast. So thank you so much.
My wife was here on Saturday night doing a pottery.
Oh, it looked deadly.
James was telling us about it.
Her and her mum.
Champagne and all.
They had the best night's crack. They made I don't know what they made, but they made something.
But no, thank you so much. Honestly, it's so lovely of you to invite us. So.
We're excited for getting you on for sure.
It's a great crack, and just being serious for a second, that's actually why I didn't listen to any of the episodes. I just wanted to come in and just
fresh.
Go with the flow.
Yeah. No, you're just straight.
I honestly didn't know what to expect.
You're just straight.
And it was so relaxed, and just a bit of crack. I quickly forgot about the mics. I don't know about you, but
we just chat shit. Well, there's two cameras there too.
Yeah.
Hello. And Jude. Hey, Jude. Got it in.
Hey, Jude.
Really appreciate you giving up your time and coming and basically giving us a bit of crack and a wee concert as well. Like, we're very privileged, I feel, to be able to do that as well. And then everybody at home, it's great that we can share this with everybody and they can see some local talent, local people, and have a bit of crack. Yeah. Did you have a good time?
I had a fantastic
time.
Good
time. I had a great time.
Brilliant. Good buns.
Fellas, I'm going to ask you to play us a final song, play us out of the episode, and we'll finish it up there.
Okay.
Well, we have a couple of songs you guys can choose, right? So
you can go for... Well, let's go. What he's got?
So we've got Ed Sheeran, Bit of Perfect, or what other one?
Thin Lizzy.
Scrap Ed. No way.
But Lizzie's well thin. She needs some of them buns.
Tonight.
Lizzie, get them bit into you, know. You can do a pound or two.
Yeah, no, we as we said to you, we worked a couple of acoustic arrangements last night. So you ready?
Let's go for it. Yeah. So this is Thin Lizzie. Yeah, Thin Lizzie. Thank you.
It's never the same twice.
Guess you just gotten back today. Them wide-eyed boys that have been away haven't changed, had much to say, but I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was when you could be found. Told them you were living down time, driving all these old men crazy. These boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. Know that chick that used to dance a lot. Every night she'd be on the floor shaking what you got. Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. I mean, she was steaming. And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face, man. We just fell about the place. If that chick don't wanna know, then forget it. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. Later. I said the boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. You have your phone now, don't you? All this crap. He's got an actual like it.
There you go.
Let me hang it.